Dynasty, you did that. Dynasty, you did that.
What's good? What's good, everybody? We are back live today. We're going to be doing a live mix with the artist in the building. He's on his way here. It's snowing crazy right now, so shout out to him for even coming out here in this. So he's on the way, driving safe. So we're going to just chat with you guys. What the fuck happened to my screen? There we go. I don't know what the hell just happened. OBS needs to be updated, I'm guessing, because this thing has been acting up. I'm trying to update it. All right, we're back regular. Sorry, guys. I was super zoomed in. That was weird. But we are here, ready to work. What's good with everybody? How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a great, Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a great middle of your week. We got some dope music to be working on today. Dat Mix, what's good with you? How you doing, my guy? Good seeing you in the chat, man. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, we got my boy 315 Cash going to be coming in today. We're going to be mixing down a song that he has on his album that we're working on. I'm mixing down his full album. He said, you know what? Let's at least stream one of them, because he wasn't going to stream any of them. And I feel like I convinced him to at least stream one of the songs getting worked on, so that people can see the work, hear the work before it's done, and also, get to know him as an artist in the studio, stuff like that. So you guys know what we're all about here is, helping artists grow, spreading love, and, just showing people the process. So I told him, I was like, nobody comes on our channel and really hates. So I think that's what a lot of artists are scared of. They're scared of, being hated on, or people, leaking their music, which in this day and age, you leak it when you just play it at the studio anyway, so. But what is good with everybody? What's new with everybody? We don't have a lot of people in here yet. I'm going to share this out to my social media, so give me a second real quick, guys. We're going to go ahead and get these shared. So, let me see real quick. Say so was Gochi, man. I hope I've been saying your name right, bro. I hope that's how you pronounce it. Sorry, I'm posting this on social media real quick, guys. Max, my bro. It's beautiful to see you in here, bro. Dat Mix, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I try to see now. Honestly, I had to bring this vibe here because Steve, for some reason, no shade to Steve, that's my bro. I love him to death, but that man loves working in this type of scenery. I'll show you real quick. This man likes to work like this. And I'm like, bro, it is too bright for me. I can't do that. It's too much light. I feel like I'm in a doctor's office, especially because when I first got here, we didn't even have the colored lights that you guys see around the room. We didn't have the LEDs. I had to bring my light bar right there. I got another light in the corner over here that I put over there. But, yeah, it wasn't vibey like this at first. I had to make it like that. But let me go turn this back off because this is horrible. Hey, you use my template? That's what's up. Let's go. I have a cool. No, let me see. I read that one already. So, yeah, that's right. I just started my first track out mix yesterday. It's fire. I can't get the vocal in pocket with it though. So that means often when you're working with track outs, bro, if you can't get the vocal in pocket, you are mixing your instrumental too loud. And you're not cutting parts where the vocal is going to fit from certain instruments. So, go into your instruments and see, for instance, whatever type of melodic instruments you have, often those are usually the biggest cause. Try to just kind of scoop out just a little bit of information in each one that'll add up. Now, if it's just like a melody loop, you might have to cut a little bit more. But if you have layered different instruments, then cut out little sections of each one in the EQ where the vocal is more present. You don't have to do deep cuts for that. And then from there, you'll have your vocal kind of poking out a little bit more. We're going to show you guys more of that today. Yes, sir, Dizzy. I was hoping you were going to hop in because I was going to say that. We're going to celebrate today, man. We hit 2,000 subscribers last night, bro. I was so excited to see that. I was like, whoa, out of nowhere. My phone just, I looked over, 2,000 subscribers. I was like, let's go. I was like, that is amazing. So shout out to all you guys. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel, hanging out with us. Hope you guys are learning a lot on here. You're experiencing a lot of fun stuff that's helping you grow as engineers, artists, producers, and I hope you guys are connecting with people in the community. So let me get this posted though, because god darn it, I forgot to do it. All right, we need to get the link. All right, let me see what else did I miss. I'm gonna be back active more now, bro. Things are starting to get much better. Let's go, bro. I love to hear that. That's a blessing. That's good news right there. I love to hear that. Let's go. Guys, keep chatting it up on the chat too, because man, we need some chatters today, because the last few lives, bro, people were silent as hell. You would have thought I was miming, bro, or like mixing for some mimes. That shit was silent. So, and there was like 15, 20 people in there, and I was like, yo, nobody is talking. So I appreciate you guys chatting it up. Keep chatting it up, even with each other. Keep that chat going. All right, let me get this link over here. This is going to be a dope session. We're waiting for Cash to get here. I don't want to jump into the song until he gets here. So I just figured we would chat with you guys, give you guys some updates. Let you guys give me some updates. I'd love to hear some, anybody got some new songs out that you guys want me to play on the stream real quick? Or unreleased songs you guys want to drop in the Discord you guys want me to play real quick? I'll definitely take a second to listen to a couple songs. I'm not saying a bunch of songs, a couple songs. So if you guys got a song you're super happy with, or like, you're excited to be putting out, or you're excited that you dropped, shoot it in the chat. Hey, nah, we good, bro. I appreciate the likes, whoever likes every time. We got to give them something to like, bro. So I understand that, you know what I mean? Do you think every 2-track needs a mix bus, you're asking? So I personally always send my beat to a beat bus just for natural things of like habit. A 2-track can go to the mix bus directly, but I think having a beat bus helps. But also, if you're talking about having a mix bus, I think a mix bus just is overall gluing everything together. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but you got to be careful on 2 tracks that you're not over compressing, because it's already compressed as hell. I hope that answered your question. You did get your new room straight. Hey, let's go. How's it sounding, bro? You loving the sound of it? Mix is turning out more accurate? Well, you asked about a 2-track, so usually the 2-track is the beat. So I think every vocal needs a bus for group-wise. This is how I work, though. So for me, all of my vocal groups get a bus. So like hook leads has its own bus. Hook dubs has its own bus. Verse leads has its own bus. Verse dubs has its own bus. Harmonies have their own bus. Ad-libs have their own bus. And what those serve as is, if I have like 2-3 tracks that are, say I have 2 dubs or 4 dubs or 8 dubs, all of those go up to that bus. And now if I compress the bus, all those are getting compressed all at once. So it helps a lot. It just gives you more wiggle room to do a lot more and have more control. That's really all I look at buses as, is just having more control. Also, it's this weird noise in the hi-hats. It's not none of my plugins adding it. I don't know where this. I got these tracks from. You might have to EQ it out, bro. Sometimes I have to chop shit out of hi-hats, bro. Like there's a thumping sound sometimes, and on me like the noise, or you'll hear like on the top end, you'll look at the EQ and you'll see this really spiked out frequency. You got to sometimes roll back some of that high frequency on some of those, and then boost in the range where the hi-hat sounds the sweetest. Printing tracks is great if you're, if you want to hear it live, you want to make sure the plugin is reacting exactly how you heard it when you're playing it back. Some people, they don't think that when you do offline bouncing, it does the same thing. But I personally, I don't hear a huge difference. In the older Pro Tools, like back when I was on Pro Tools like 12 and 10 and stuff like that, yes, offline bouncing, right when it came out, you would get a lot of clicks, pops, and stuff like that. I don't hear as much of that anymore with it. But people also just try, sometimes when people print things, they're just trying to be double sure. I commit a lot of my plugins, but I don't personally have a print track unless I'm doing a hybrid mix. I have a print bus. Now, this is actually, so it's funny. I'll show you guys real quick. I'll show you the screen. But this is actually pretty funny because a lot of people will say this to me all the time. Like, why do you have a print track? I don't have a print track. This is not my actual print track. This is a bus in case I have to do a print on something that's hybrid, because I'm not always just working in this studio. So like I used to move around to a bunch of different studios. And so when I had hybrid abilities, I had a print track to be able to do stuff. So I just kept it in my template. This is just serves as an extra bus. I throw a limiter on there sometimes, so it's not on my actual mix bus. So when I do bounce out my track, I can just bounce out the mix bus without taking the limiter off. Where do you send me the track for me to hear? On the Discord. So the Discord link that's right above your comment, you can click on that and then apply to go into the Discord and then send it to the Discord. Yeah, I mean, hi-hat, sometimes you might get that static sound from them because it might be a sound design thing. They might have cut it off of something like another song. They might have, just added some type of distortion to it to make it kind of poke out more. Sometimes you just got to work with that and just kind of make it pleasant as you can. Not everything's going to be perfect. That way, what do you mean what's? Well, I think you missed the rest of your question. It's getting chilly in here, damn. Make it warm in here, there we go. It should be a application you got to go through. It's not just an instant thing. Here, actually, I'll just if you have a link or anything, is it a link or is it a WAV file? Okay. Let me go into the Discord. Switch this back over. So if you go to apply here, click on the link and then go to apply here, and then just fill out the application quick. I'll accept it, and then you'll be good to go. Or actually, Max, if you can just quickly accept that. Just make sure you put your name, Tell Productions HD in the name somewhere, so we know it's you. And then we'll get some stuff going. Appreciate you, Max. We'll get some songs going until Cash gets here. We can play his stuff after. Let's see real quick. I haven't opened Discord on my computer all day, so I have to. What is up with Discord always updating on the computer? Like literally every single time I open it. This thing has daily updates. I don't know if you guys use Discord on your computer or not, but this thing is crazy with the updates, left and right. I just got Pro Tools. How do you shortcut record button? So if you have a keyboard like this that has a numerical pad on it, this is the best one to have because you can do just 3. You can just click 3. On the numeric pad, once you click 3, it just starts recording. You can also do Command spacebar, but second. This thing is being weird. Discord's freezing up on me. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I've always used 3. 3 is the quickest way to do it. And then I also have it set to my mouse. So on this mouse, if I hit this button right here, it records for me. If I hit this button right here, it sends it to a playlist. So I don't have to take my hand off the mouse. All right. Is it that she lied to your face? So we're going to do probably like 2 or 3 songs before he gets here. Yeah, I can definitely go over some shortcuts. I would say get a numerical keypad, even if you buy like the extension and you just plug it in as a USB. I would say get that because there's a lot of shortcuts that are on this numerical keypad with Pro Tools. This is actually a key thing to have with Pro Tools. I'm going to tell you guys right now. Carissa, what's going on? All right, so we're going to play, is this, I just want to make sure it's the right person. So, Tough Productions, is yours the She Lied to Your Face song? Because it's a different name on here, so I just want to make sure it's the right person. Okay, that's not you. Okay, Jersey. We're going to take a listen. All right, Jersey. She Lied to Your Face. Hold up. I got to turn the loop back on for that part. Why is our Discord not playing? That was weird. Hold on. Hold up, guys. Give me 1 second. Yeah, why is our Discord not playing audio? Was it playing for you guys? Alright, so hold on 1 second real quick. Before I start this, you guys gotta let me know what you want me to review you on, because do you want honest feedback on the mix or do you want honest feedback on the song? Because I'm gonna keep it G with you guys. I'm not a drill person, so if you send me drill songs, I'm instantly like, the song to me is already, just because it's a drill song, just to be honest to you guys. But if you want me to listen to the quality, I'll give you, mixed critique on it too. But let me know in the chat before you guys send. Okay, mix, got you.
We drop the window, it's a go. How about V's with my Z's? They push it to sleep, and that's on Oaks. Mini Dracos, riding passenger, we sliding SRTs. My bitch bougie, she like luxury. I bought the AMG. Foreign whip it, don't speak English, but it understands me. I hate getting high, but when I get high, I finally feel like I'm just me. ARPT, leave holes in your tea, look like a Yeezy fit. How you ballin' when you not in the game, little nigga, you sitting bench. Got your bitch cooking me dinner, after that she eating dick. Glock is my apprentice, everywhere I go, it's on my hip. Number 1 up in the game, I am a champ, I need my chip. You hear the engine roaring when I smash the...
How old are you, Jersey?
Gas up in my whip, my bitch foreign, my whip foreign. We went foreign for the jerk. I won't cuff no regular hoe, I can't get caught with a boring bitch. Young rich nigga, now I tend to do whatever I want. My trunk used to sit in the back, but now my groceries sit up front. I bought gelato for my model, but I'm smoking on the...
Damn, bro, you got a young voice. You sound like you're like 18 still. You got a young voice for sure. It might be because your voice is thin on this. So that's the one thing I'm going to point out already. Your voice sounds a bit thin. I don't know what your setup is. If you want to, put your setup, your microphone interface, whatever you use, that'll help us understand a little bit more. But your voice sounds a little thin and a little crunchy. So 2 things is, 1, you might have the input a little too loud on your interface. You might be competing with the beat because did you pull the volume down on the beat when you put in your program in your DAW? If not, you're going to be competing with the beat the whole time you're recording, and you're going to feel like you need to turn your vocals up, and in reality, you got to turn the beat down, and then once you do that, you're going to be able to hear your vocals more. But it definitely is like a home recording. It's crunchy, but I would say one thing is, like, if you're too close to the mic, you also get that crunch. So it might not be your interface, but you might be too close to your mic. it might be the Amazon mic too. Amazon mics are very, very cheaply built, to be honest with you, bro.
Savage with a bottle, she gon' swallow, she know how to have fun. ARP ski on my hip, don't like the fight, I watch it blow. Catch it out, we hit his head and watch his brain spill on the floor. We spin it behind the tip, but when we drop the window, it's a go. How about these?
Yeah, see, like when you said it's a go, that was like completely distorted. That was definitely the microphone.
My Z's, they push it to shit, and that's on O's. Mini Dracos, riding passenger, we sliding SRTs. My bitch bougie, she like luxury, I bought the AM.
Yeah, it's just crunchy as hell. I would say definitely if you upgrade your mic, bro, even if you get a $200 mic or a $300 mic like this one, you're gonna hear a huge difference. All right, I got the Shure SM7B right here. If you get this mic, you'll hear a huge difference. So if your interface is at 1 and you're still getting that clipping, that means your mic is either you're really close to it and you're making it clip, or it's just really sensitive. But the artist will be here in 5 minutes, so I'm gonna play one more song real quick, and then we're gonna probably get ready for him to come in here. Is this the one you're asking about? Say so. Okay. So this is art style, okay? This is like the way that you were talking about the little crunch on the hi-hat. That's because they took that from a loop or something, and it has like a record sound to it, okay? So that's literally that grit that they want on it, so don't take that out. Keep that in there, okay? That's something that's creating that texture for them. And if you take that out, they're going to tell you, bro, where'd that go, okay? That's not a noise that you want to really eliminate. When they have it in there on purpose, don't eliminate that. All right, so one thing already, drums sound overly compressed already and thin. So that kick drum, you can make a lot thicker. I would say, I don't know if you're cutting right now or for whatever you're doing, but it sounds like you're really compressing the hell out of it. And then the hi-hat too, like, okay, if that noise is too much, roll off the low end until you get just enough of it, because that noise is actually something that it's white noise, so it carries over all the way along the spectrum. So you can actually cut quite a bit of that out and it won't be as thick, but you'll still have that effect in there. And this is the one you said you're having problems with the vocals, so it sounds already, what I'm hearing right now on the Barefoots that I'm listening on is it's very 2K, and I'll download it and I'll look at it, but it sounds very 2 to 5K range heavy, okay? Which means that is where a vocal usually sits in their like really present, like high vocal area, okay? So if I'm gonna pull this in the Pro Tools real quick, let me do this so it's a little bit easier for me to show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so here's. Now look, that's already heavy. That's already heavy in this area, which you can tone that down a little bit, because once you start adding limiting and you add your mix bus and you do stuff like that, you're going to be pulling those up more and more and more. You got to think ahead of yourself of, okay, if I do this too much, when I add limiter, which is going to essentially compress and pull things up more, you're going to get that energy built up even more, okay? So when I go into the part where you have the strings and stuff, okay, which is, I think, in this section. All right, so let me pull up an EQ so I can really show you and show you the sections that you're really hearing be crazy, all right? All right. I'm not boosting anything. I'm literally just soloing this, okay? I'm soloing this band from, what is this? It's like, let me see what that line is. Okay, so it's about there. So about 650 hertz to about 6,000, okay? See, that's not harsh right there. So what I would do is pull this down here. So you can still hear it and everything, and you can kind of do a dynamic one too if you want. But I'm sure you have all those instruments. So I'm doing it on the mix of the song. But if you have it on each instrument and you just do little cuts and you, whatever ones have the highest frequencies, cut out a little bit sharper, kind of find the high annoying frequencies, because those are getting harsh to the ear. So that's something I would definitely do on those individual instruments, or if it's a loop, then just kind of like cut out that good section. It's easier to see it than to me just tell you numbers and stuff, bro. I get it. Like, I'm not a person that's going to sit there and be like, yeah, just go to 4K, turn down like 8 decibels. Like, that doesn't help people. I'm a visual person. I'm a hands-on person, so you guys are going to get that type of explanation. That's why whenever I do one-on-one lessons with people, they learn a lot, and we often go overtime because I'm trying to explain things and show things, not just, give you the scientific breakdown of like, yeah, this is how a compressor works. I physically show you what bad compression, good compression, tasteful compression is, and even EQ and stuff. So, all right, guys, 1 second. The artist just pulled up. I'm going to be right back. Give me 1 sec. I don't know why this looks like that. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm going to put it on this starting soon. Hold on. I'll be right back, guys.
Dynasty, you did that.
All right, guys, we're back in here with my boy 315 Cash. Shout out to him, man.
What up, chat?
He came in here, man. Listen, it is a blizzard out there.
I wish y'all could see
If
it,
I could
man.
take a video on my, babe, go take a video on my phone real quick.
Like, it's nasty. It's nasty. You can't see
Take a video on my phone outside real quick. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. This man drove, what, 25, 30 minutes at least.
Yeah, it was probably longer than that.
Yeah, 'cause of the
That's
snow.
what it is in the normal,
Yeah.
in the normal weather. Word.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, guys, this is Cash right here, man.
good to
I'm gonna
be
get him
here,
mic'd
man.
up in a second, and we're gonna get this going. And we're gonna show you guys some of his music. Well, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat right when I left, because I know there's a couple things. Do you recommend I do broad cuts on the individual instruments, or just or on the beat just to make it? Nah, I would do it on the instruments, bro, because if you have full control of the track outs, like for instance right here, like we're working on a song today that I have full control of the track outs, right? If I go on the beat bus and I just pull a bunch of frequencies down, now I'm affecting the whole, the whole beat, the snare drum, the hi-hat, everything. I want to affect only the melody. And so that's why I'll do it on each individual one. And it adds up differently when you do it individually rather than just the whole, overall melody. But here, this is what it looks like outside, guys. You ready?
Nasty. Nasty.
And it didn't look like this when I got here. It was snowing a little bit.
And I'm good in the 4-wheel, but it's the other people that you got to watch out for that don't know how to manage in these Syracuse conditions. Word.
That's what it's like outside. It has not stopped. We've had nonstop snow for the past 2 months. It has been ridiculous this year. We got over, what? It was like, they said over 120 inches already that we've gotten. Ridiculous.
This year for sure.
Hey, Dizzy. I just read your text. Dizzy, I feel you, my guy. Say so, because what I try to do is, since all the instruments are rooted to the beat bus, like on your template, I did the Pro before. You can do it like that, especially if you go to the melodies, right? You go to the melody bus and you go to that and you just do some side chaining on there. You can do it like that, but again, you're cutting from all of those together, where you might get a better sound doing it individually. And then doing it gently on the bus too. You know, you just try different things, bro. It's, if you have full track outs, use those track outs to your full advantage. All right, so we're gonna jump into this song real quick. I'm gonna show you guys. It was funny because I started this song already because I wasn't going by the track list. I just mixed by like, okay, I like this song already. Like, I'm feeling the vibe of it. I'll mix it today, and I'll get on that one. And so I started to mix this, and then you were like, let's mix levels live. And I was like, all right, bet, I'll just do levels, because the song levels.
That works.
So I was like, fuck it. So
we could do that.
yeah, we got levels pulled up. Let me go ahead and show them what we got so far. So this is the beat track outs, guys. He had this produced by a local producer. He goes by Fly Milk. Sorry.
Fly Milk, man.
He used to go by Cicero Flyboy Beats, but now it's Fly Milk. I don't know where the hell that came from, but
I believe it's an inspiration by his brother, I believe.
oh, for real?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
I was gonna say, because it was just like out of nowhere he switched his name.
He had a couple name switches for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So,
Fly
but yes. So he's got full track outs. This is a sampled beat. So we have, now this one has like 2 different like sample, or I guess loops that he used in it. This one has them right here.
Levels.
So we have just 2 instruments really for the melody, and then it goes into this like melodic loop that is that put together with, I think, some other things. Let me see. Oops, I was on record mode. Yeah, there's like a vocal sample in there or something, so we're gonna have fun with this one. Yeah, bro, when you first work with your first track outs, bro, it is definitely a little bit harder, and it's a little bit more like, you get nervous because you're like, am I ruining elements by, you know, doing things to them? And you don't want to do too much, and then you also don't want to take away from like what they heard before either, but you want to enhance that. And sometimes when you enhance that, it changes the sound a little bit, so you got to be careful. So I did start mixing this, so I'm going to show you real quick some things that I did do to it. So I don't know what's up with him with his 808s. I might redo this 808 for you, because it has like this wobbly. Let me take these off. See, when you go to the higher note, it has like this little like. Oh wait, hold on, guys. I gotta put a gate on his microphone. You're hearing it both. Hold up, my bad, guys. Sidechain DAW audio.
Trying to share the stream on my social medias and shit. Get it going.
Hell yeah.
I was not on the phone. I was driving, man. I was
I was just wanting to get that sent over to you.
Hell yeah.
Let me see if this does this now. Let me see. This one's not as bad as the other one, but the first one,
You said that.
the intro, it had like this really wobbly sound to it. And I think it's because he just forgot to hit a certain button in FL Studio. And when I thought he would have fixed it when he sent me the second beat. But did you guys switch the beat too when you guys did something with the second recording?
I don't believe so.
Okay. The beat was a little different too. All right, so I added some weight to that. A little bit more aggression.
Trying to make my way.
All right, we're gonna mute the vocals for now, guys, so I can show you just the instrumental. think it's because he's going against it. Yeah, I think he's clashing with that. That's what it was. The 808 and that was clashing. Fuck it. We're gonna do it like this. Let's do. This is the part about being a producer that helps out. Take that sound. And we're going to go into here, structure free. So now, this typically isn't part of mixing, but I'm going to do it just to make sure that this 808 doesn't sound the way it does because it's killing me. So, okay, save that just one sound real quick right in here. I'm going to save this in your folder. Let's rename this real quick. Okay. And now, let's go ahead and do Command-Shift-K. Command-Shift-K is going to save this into my folder, which I hope I did it right. And we'll do cache. Nope, I got to do it again because I didn't save it in that folder, and I'm not searching through the audio folder. Alright, so now we got our 808. Load that into there. Come on, motherfucker. Load. There we go. Now, we need to change a couple things real quick. So I don't have to hold that down. I'll just drag it up. Fuck it. Wait, no. DK. There's no wobbling happening. Like, there's this wobbliness that happens with this thing when it's like, when he was hitting it with his. So I'm trying to make sure it doesn't have that. I'm just going to follow the same notes he had. So make it simple on myself. If you guys don't know that Pro Tools does this, you're late to the game. key is this in? That's the other question I had. Because I don't think he put that in the right key. That's part of the problem sometimes. No. I don't have post fader metering on. I don't mix with that on. I only record with that on. E minor. Okay. So we're in E minor. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, see, that note's not. This note right here is not in. And then that note's in. So this note. See, even his kicks are off beat. Alright, fuck it. We're gonna keep his 808. I'll call him and have him redo it. Just do it a certain way. I'll work with it now. So you guys are gonna hear some wildness on this 808 that's not gonna be there when we get the final, because I'm gonna have him redo the 808 himself. This kick right here, I did some work on this thing. Yo, he went crazy with these hi-hats. This dude went insane with these hi-hats on this. Turn that down compared to it. That shit was blasting. Holy shit. See, he had the 808 thumping more, which covers up a lot of your vocal, which I could still make it thicker. That's why I'm waiting. I want to get him to do the 808s, like actually put them in the FL Studio properly, because what he's doing, there's a certain button he has to press that will make them stop wobbling like that, and I don't know if he's pressing that button or not, because it sounds like it's not. You're getting like a lot of, when they add up, you start getting a lot of that whoop, whoop, whoop noise, and you don't want that, because it's going to make like even with his, you could hear it, like it was like wobbly a little bit, and that's because it's like what's happening is like the sample is playing at the same time as the sample again, and it's like overlapping each other.
Okay.
So like he needs to have it.
I could hit him up and.
Yeah. I shot him a message about it, but I don't know if he's seen it, or not. But. Real quick. Yeah, we can thin those out a little bit. So I'm gonna throw some EQ on these that thin them out just a tiny bit. And make this. Yeah, that's the part of the snare that's the more prominent. So I already did do some editing on these.
I'll just show them a text.
Okay. I started some editing on the vocals, but I don't believe I ran them through the VMR. I'm trying to remember. No, I didn't. I don't think so. No. Okay. Perfect. All right, so let's start with the hook.
Levels to the game because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game because it's levels to the game. Levels to the...
Let me hear this raw real quick.
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name.
I already did like a deep plosive and stuff because it sounds like. Are you really close to the mic when you record?
Oh, possibly.
Because I was gonna say that's one thing. Like I always have to tell artists to back up off the mic because a lot of people think that they got to be like really, really close. This mic I can be super close with for one reason, because if I take this off. Oh motherfucker! Made it easy the other day. Fuck. So with this, whatever. With this cover, so basically there's like a metal.
He's got one of the balls. I'm not sure what kind of mic he has, but he's got one of the balls.
That'll also make it a lot more like bass heavy, so that might add to the plosiveness too. But this, sorry guys for all that noise of me trying to take the thing off the mic. But this right here basically has like a cage around it, not like this. This one, the capsule's like literally right here. Okay, for mine, the capsule's down here. Okay, so like it has a huge distance that it has to still travel for it to really get to the capsule. Where most microphones, they're literally right there on, like, around the tip of where the microphone is. Okay. So when you're close to it, what happens is when you're really close, proximity effect, which adds bass, and then bass adds a lot of rumble, or like you get a lot of like just heaviness that you don't always want in a vocal. And it also sometimes will make things sound super muddy. So like for like right now, I'll show you the difference. So you got.
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the...
And what I mean by muddiness, I'm going to play you that frequency area so you can hear what muddiness sounds like. All right, so that's you being really either close to the mic, but he also has a chaotic eyeball on it, so that also will take some of that bass adding into it. Okay. So first thing...
I'll take that.
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game.
You can hear that even still, like it's got a lot of that rumble still from the chaotica.
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game because it's levels to the game. Levels.
That's what usually, like, as soon as I record a vocal, that's what it usually sounds like, because I will tell the artist, back up a little bit, because if I hear you too close or I hear it's, like, really boomy like that, instantly I'm going to be like, yo, back up a little bit off the mic, and that way you get a lot more cleaner vocals, so we don't have to clean up as much when we're in the mix phase.
Gotcha.
And it also helps also to get like the tone that you're really looking for a lot more like
clear
instantly. Yeah, like it's also like an instant thing. Like you listen back to it without having any plugins on, and it sounds like, oh shit, that's the tone that I wanted. Now we just gotta like kind of enhance it a little bit, you know. But
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. Levels to the game because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules. I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame.
So I usually don't clean it up before I do my VMR, but I'm going to do it on this because I don't want to load the VMR into like a super muddy vocal. It'll make it a little bit harder to get the sound that I'm looking for. So now we're going to do VMR. You guys are usually not used to seeing me do this, so I'm doing it a little bit differently today. Where's my VMR?
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name.
Actually, no, I might be able to take RVox down here. We're not going to compress it first. Waves plugins are so slow sometimes. Jeez and rice. Let's do a little analog EQ on them.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane.
See, I'm not trying to change how your voice sounds. I'm trying to just clean it up so it pokes out more and has that same energy. I don't want it to lose energy.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game.
I like the EQ better. Alright, he's rapping fast and aggressive, so we're going to throw our 1176 on him.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name.
Max, I could see you and Cash doing a collab, bro. You guys actually have a similar style.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game.
Nino, what's good with you?
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar.
See, like right there, you heard the goal. There's a clip in there, and I couldn't get it out. Hold on, watch.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you set the goal.
Listen to the distortion in it.
First you said the goal. First you said the goal.
I did take it down a little bit because I did do declip and deplosive, so it's not there as much, but it'll sound a little bit more crunchy as I add more stuff onto it.
Okay.
And those are simply times where as an engineer, the engineer should tell you if they hear crunch and it's not like intentional, like the artist is like, yo, I don't want any crunchy vocals, which if you're doing sometimes hip hop stuff like this, it can sound good, but this is actual like microphone clipping, so it doesn't always sound good.
Cash rules everything around me, cream. First you said the goal, and then you chase a dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing in. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etcher sketch. If you don't get right, then you getting left. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane.
Otto, what's good with you, my boy?
I'm just trying to make my way, stay.
So right now, just to show you, we got somebody from the Bahamas. We got New York City in here.
That's tough.
We got Cincinnati in here. We got, where else you guys from? Shout out where you guys are
Shout
from,
out
man.
Bahamas. Shout out New York City. Shout out Cincinnati. Shout out all of y'all, man. Word, that's tough. Make sure y'all tap in with me on Instagram at @TheReal315Cash. It's love, man. That's tough, Dino.
That's a fact,
You
man.
dope, man.
I just hit 2,000. I'm not up there, 20,000 and nothing,
It's
but we
gonna
got
get there.
2,000
It's gonna
subscribers
get there,
already,
bro,
so,
for
it's
sure.
great. We got Cleveland in here, Texas in here. We got all over the map. You
That's
feel
tough,
me?
bro.
It ain't, notice how ain't nobody say Syracuse yet. You feel me? Because I don't get Syracuse viewers. I've had people come like, yo, bro, I want to go live because I want people. I'm like, bro, I don't get people from the town.
It'd be like that, bro.
Because it don't, to me, it's like, it don't matter to me. Like, the town, and as much as I say this all the time, so you got Norway in here. Like, bro, like, the thing is like,
tough.
Syracuse, bro, I've always been a person where it's like, Syracuse will catch on when other people love you. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, no, I agree with that.
it's like, if you're here, oh, Dynasty's here. He's, whatever. But when I was in Florida, oh, Dynasty's live. Syracuse people popping in left and right. Why? Because they want to be nosy. I'm not in Syracuse right now. They're like, oh, what's Dynasty really doing?
Like how I treat my social medias, like my Facebook, it's more of the local thing, and my
yeah.
Instagram is more the global thing.
100%.
Like, I'll post something on Instagram and it'll go crazy. I'll post the same thing on Facebook. It'll get the views, but it's not gonna get the same reaction.
Exactly, bro. The comments, the engagement.
But they not.
Yeah.
So,
Like, bro, it's funny because, like, I go
understand
live
that for
on Facebook sometimes, too, and, like, I'll do dual streaming like I did the other day. And, like, I'll look. It'll tell me who's looking from each one. And it was saying, like, 2 people on Facebook were watching. And it didn't even say a name because they were just sitting there watching on their timeline. They didn't actually click on it.
Like, go into the live.
Yeah, because that's the thing I hate about Facebook is if they don't go into your live, they don't actually click on it. You don't see their name. And then here, the thing I hate about YouTube is it doesn't tell me who's watching until they comment. So we got 17 people sitting in here with us. You feel me? But we're only got, like, I would say 8 of those people actually commenting right now.
Active, yeah.
You feel me?
Drop
So
them
it's like,
comments, drop them comments, like my boy shit.
That's a
man.
fact,
Run it
man.
up, Run it up.
Drop a comment. Tell us where you from. We got 16 people in here right now. 25 likes. I appreciate everybody who hit that like
You
button.
got the thumbnail handy?
Yeah.
Send it to me and I'll post it on my Instagram and stuff and try to get it more situated.
I got you. Hold on one sec. I think I gotta airdrop it. Here, I'm gonna airdrop this over to you from my laptop.
That's good.
Or actually, yeah, my bad. There you go. You come up in my thing easily. That's perfect. Boom. All right, let's get back into this. We're gonna get back into this hook. I was just showing you guys the verse real quick. We were trying to make sure that the same chain works well on the verse, but it's a little bit different energy. He's a little more aggressive, so we had to dial back the chain a little bit.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my.
All right, so let me turn.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash.
All right, so those 3 will sound good together. Let's hear them all 3 real quick.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game.
No, I do not use vocal line for the dubs. He actually did a great job at dubbing these at a really, like, pretty good timing, to be honest. Like, there's a couple that are a little, you know, I can nudge them, but I don't need vocal line for these ones at all. I usually don't use vocal line. I use the Sync VX by Waves, which is really cool, but I'm thinking about getting the new vocal line Pro just because it is actually really good. But it's also really expensive, so I don't want to spend more money on plugins. You guys see the list already? I mean, look. This is just EQs. And then there's just compressors. And then, yeah, so no. I don't want to buy more plugins. Alright, let's hear the intro. Make sure it sounds
Levels. Levels.
With that, I kind of wanted to, like, whatever you could
good. Like
do.
the telephone effect and stuff.
Like, yeah, like, raise it up. Like,
Yeah, I was going to make it like kind of.
Make it so it levels, yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I was already on that mindset with it because, like, even with the
know it,
beat
you
coming in,
know it.
I'm not going to let it come in just like that. It's going to, like, fit. I'm going to put a filter on it, and then I might put some distortion on this so, like, it adds up a little bit more and more every time. So.
Perfect.
He says, save your money, bro. Why vocal line ain't worth it? I mean, I got Sync VX. I don't really need it. And I'm also very fast at doing my own editing, so I don't really need it.
Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase a dream. Dollar bill, y'all. I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight.
I mean, I had vocal line years ago, but when I upgraded to an M1, it's not compatible with the version that I had, and I didn't want to spend another $300, $400 on it.
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase a dream. Dollar bill, y'all. I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in it.
I really want to double check, though. Hold on. I'm like double thinking myself real quick. Session files. Let me just see this. Because I know there are stereo files. Because it was FL Studio. But I want to see. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Wanted to make sure I didn't already compress them and stuff. Alright, cool. Because sometimes what I'll do is, like, because you're going to see all these plugins disappear in a second now. I do it with my own manual vocal lining, and I agree. It definitely comes along with that. But also, I know many singers and artists that can literally perform on top of their vocals so perfectly that you wouldn't even know that there's a double most of the time. It depends on the level of the artist, my guy. That's for sure. I'll tell you that right now. I've worked with artists from all levels, from beginners to people who are veterans in the studio that lay down verses like that or songs like that, and it's two different stories.
Levels.
Yeah, levels for sure. For sure. Levels for sure. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get this intro sounded right. First part. Intro of the... Let's do beat bus 1-knot filter. Where does the beat drop? Officially right there. So we're going to make a marker. Make our markers for our hook, our verse, and all that stuff, so we can move around faster. Okay. So from here to here, we're going to do a filter on the beats real quick, just some simple stuff. And then let it build more and more. It's going to build gradually there.
Levels. 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 I'm just trying to make my way. Levels. 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 I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane. Levels. 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 I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried.
All right. I'm going to be honest. This levels right here is messing me up. I think we got to use a different one. It's the timing wise. Let's see. Levels.
Levels.
Slide it.
Levels. Levels.
You didn't want to do it there?
Levels.
See, because it feels weird off beat with that one. Because it's like such a big difference of what timing compared to the other ones.
Levels. 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 I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels. 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 I'm just trying to make my way.
Kind of counts it in a little bit more. It feels more natural that way. Because like every bar is going to build up.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Levels. 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 I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash.
Let's do the quick one. Do this. What are we thinking for this one? Let's do splattered for this one. This one will sound cool for that.
Levels. 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 I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to. Levels. 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 I'm just trying to make my way, stay. Levels. 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 I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the. I'm just trying to make my way, stay.
Another little technique you guys can see from this to get dubs to sound perfectly together is you take the definition out of the dubs so that way they're not as defined as the lead vocal like this.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my.
So we're going to take away the definition on these dubs so it doesn't sound so.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame.
Especially for this type of song where the background vocals just make it sound thicker.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules, everything around me cream. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules.
Now the one thing the EQ and stuff can't fix is pitch. So for these, we're going to have to do some melodyne, which is not common on rap vocals, but because he's hitting a different tone in this double on the right side, I need to match it to the left side. So there's like, on certain ones, he's pushing a higher note. So I'm going to play them back for you guys so you guys can hear this. Whoops.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the.
So like hear the name right there?
Worried about the.
Let me put it in slip mode so it's easier.
Name, I ain't worried. My name, I ain't.
So listen to this name.
Name.
Right? Mm-hmm. Now let's listen to this one.
Name.
See how it's higher?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do now is we're going to go to this right side only. And we're going to take this guy. We're going to find it.
Name.
Now they're matching.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's left.
So Fame also did it.
About the fame.
Right? So I'm going to go back into this again. Fame went up here.
Fame.
Hold on, we got to pull this one down.
Fame.
Sometimes they'll sound a little weird, so we got to try different ones.
My name, I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's
Close.
fame.
Let's see what this one is. So it shows a D sharp. We are one note off. Or D flat, I meant. I'm going to pull this up to here. And we're going to change some of this format on it.
Fame.
Again, click this one to see. D flat, and does it drop? No, that's why.
Fame.
Okay, now the format's too deep.
Fame.
There we go. Let's hear it together again. It's gonna sound a little different, but not. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's closer than that high note.
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane.
Yep, lane was also the same thing.
Lane.
So it's this one versus this one.
Lame. Focus on my name, I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my
Oh, so this one went higher now.
game.
So,
Game.
okay, that was really a big jump difference. Okay, this one might sound a little weird, but we're gonna try it.
Game. I'm to the game. Levels to the game. I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. To the game.
Let's hear it with the lead vocal.
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game.
There's a section right here that was
Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way.
trying to make my way.
Trying to make my way.
It's on the right side.
Trying to make. Trying to make.
Would you like a piece of sushi?
I'm okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Here, want some?
Yeah, thank you.
Here, I got you.
Trying to make my way. Trying to make my way.
All right, there we go.
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game.
Perfect. Well, they're as good as they're gonna get. They're not perfect, but the tone is more consistent. You can hear it now.
For sure.
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rule, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game.
All right. So every time I listen to a vocal, I will keep hearing like different things that not even like every time, but when I'm starting to mix a vocal, I'm listening for like little things and little details of like maybe frequency where it's like poking out more energetic and it's like taking away from that like consistency of the lead vocal. I'm listening for that. I'm also listening for like noises and stuff like that come from your words, so I can kind of tame those, because once we crank the speakers up, those are going to be in like playing them off of like bigger speakers, whatever. Those noises are often the things that people are like, oh, that hurt my ear. You know what I mean? So we're trying to make it sound as clean as possible. Plus, give it the ability to be pushed as loud as we can go without having any of those frequencies or things that are getting too harsh.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm usually doing with this stuff right here.
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, man, focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game.
So like right there when you say game, watch how like you can hear this frequency really poke out.
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, man, focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game.
So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna find that one spot right there.
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, man, focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, man, focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rule. I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rule, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game.
All right, so now we got it cleaned up. If we're gonna play it's at the same volume as the main, when I first pulled the vocal in, if I were to take all the effects off or the compression and stuff that I added before, it would be at the same volume. And now, even right now, if I go and take this off,
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame.
I'm just trying to take away a little bit of mud, but it quieted it down, so we have to boost that back up. So we can either just pull this up a little bit here.
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game.
So now we're gonna throw something else on to give it a little bit more energy. And this is one of my favorite ones for vocals right here, this magma tubes.
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rule, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way.
We ain't got no reverb or nothing on them yet, so this reverb is gonna add a little bit more character and energy to them once we get in there. You can hear it once I add this just a little bit.
I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rule, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Levels. 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 I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the levels. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me, cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase a dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing it. If you gon' do it correct. Ask
I forgot that Pulsar made this, so I was looking for damn Utopia or whatever it's called, and it just, or BX made this, not Pulsar. I was looking for Pulsar, I wasn't looking for BX. This is gonna be
Levels. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game.
Let's do Dusty. Turn that bitch down though.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way.
Damn, that adds a lot of noise. You hear that like static noise? Yeah, that's from this plugin. That's what.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me, cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase a dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me, cream. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game.
He's known as Edward Mixer Hands. This man Max, bro. Yo, Max, Otto and I have worked with many songs. I actually was just mixing one of his songs the other day on live stream.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me, cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing in. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck out.
So as I'm adding stuff, you're starting to hear a little bit more of that crunch. Mm-hmm. That's from like the microphone. I also don't know what type of mic he has, so I don't know if it's a decent one or not.
Cash.
Oh, I believe it's a good one.
Well, do you know what it looks like?
No, I don't.
Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can pull one up that you might be able to be like, yeah, that's it.
He just recently updated it not too long ago.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I wish he had pictures of his place so I could see it, because he don't post none of his stuff ever. I don't see none of his studio pictures.
Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me, cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith.
See, like, we can try to declip it, but I don't think it'll do it more on this one. Let's see.
Cash rules everything around me, cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you want to give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing name. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice protect your neck out, shake the frame.
Honestly, Max says, what do you prefer using, RComp or RVox, and why? I use both, and they're different. Now, if you would have asked IDX or RVox, the IDX is actually something I've been using a lot more lately, but RVox is like, it's going to always be a GOAT. But this guy right here, if you guys don't know what that is, IDX, this is like the next thing closest to RVox that is amazing. Like, if I were to pull this up here and show you guys.
Cash rules everything around me, cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate.
So the thing I love about this is it has a tilt on it, which is making the compression either heavier on the low end or high end. So I can change if I'm getting more compression on. Say I want to compress a bit more of the low end of the vocal. I could do that on this.
Cash rules everything around me, cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing in. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know.
And this has speed on it, and then it has also a knee. If you want a hard knee or a soft knee, pause. You can control that on there.
Cash rules everything around me, cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing in. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code in my name, so so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etch-a-sketch. If you don't get right, then you getting left. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane. Cash rules everything around me, cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight.
I actually like the sound of this one on it better. And now, see, now, there's sometimes I can pull out those really harsh frequencies that are distorting and maybe make them sound a little less, but it's not.
Cash rules everything around me, cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing in. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etch-a-sketch. If you don't get right, then you getting left. I'm just trying to make my way, stay. Cash rules everything around me, cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing in. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etch-a-sketch. If you don't get right, then you getting left. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused. Cash rules everything around me, cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight.
You know, sometimes with Soothe, I can also control some of that distortion, but it's not going to be crazy controlled.
Cash everything around me, cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you want to give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing in. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etch-a-sketch. If you don't get right, then you getting left. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game.
It's getting there.
It's getting there.
It's getting there. See, now I haven't even put the mix bus on yet. So when I put the mix bus on, it's going to sound a lot more exciting and bigger. But right now, we're just trying to make sure everything's not... Like, if I look at the levels right now, watch this.
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game.
So my objective is to pretty much, by the time I get done with this mix...
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels.
See, right now it's hitting negative 5.9. I want it to hit like -4, -3 before I go into mastering. Before I put like a limiter on it to make it louder real quick, and then see how a pre-master would sound.
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me, cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, game still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing in. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, man. Focused on my name, I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Going up levels, cause I've been on my grind. Most people don't know I got a job full-time. Focused on money moves, I've been locked in. Putting on for the city, some will say I'm top 10. Who will say I'm not him? Better get to stepping. Every city that I touch, Syracuse, what I'm repping. And I wrote this verse, 30,000 feet from the earth. Soar above the clouds, make my rounds, this that work. Touchdown, new city, new vibes, new level. Plain Jane on my wrist, think it's time for a new bezel. Just hit 30, still thinking I could do better. Health is wealth, found myself, always chasing new treasure. To-do list, stay checked. B, take it to the max, call my connect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always respect. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game.
What are we gonna put on here? Let's do. Let's do this. Let's do a vitalizer. Chat, y'all getting quiet, man. Don't get quiet on us, chat.
Man. Drop them comments, man.
Don't get quiet on us.
Drop them comments.
I know you guys are probably soaking up some game, though.
Levels. 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 I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules, everything around me cream. First you set the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the.
All right, just because I want to do some like really different stuff on the intro thing, I'm gonna do that on a different bus. CJ, what's good with you? We got Kid Knuckles in here. What's good with you?
Yo.
Levels. 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 I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game.
Do you have the rough mixes still?
I believe so.
You want? Can you airdrop me that one? You got it on your phone?
I don't have it on my phone, but I got it on my laptop right here.
Oh, perfect. My boy came prepared.
Always, man. Always.
Levels. Levels.
Pulling a MacBook out of your laptop in New York in the middle of winter,
Shit, like,
your hands are gonna be frozen to it. Like it's like one of those situations. Like make sure your hands are dry or you got gloves on, because your hands are gonna be frozen to your MacBook if your MacBook's been sitting in your car or anything, bro.
no bullshit. That MP3 you want?
Yeah, it don't matter. Wave or MP3, whichever one. I just want to be able to go back and forth and hear the before and after. It's always fun to compare the two and, you know, listen to the difference between them and see how we're...
AirDrop or?
Yeah, you can airdrop it right over. It'll be a Dynasty Mac Mini.
There it is.
There we go. So this is just a rough mix, guys. This is what we started from, so I can hear back and forth. That's all I'm trying to do. This is not to shame anybody or anything. It's just to compare back and forth to see how we're sounding energy-wise, make sure we're kind of on the same path, but improving what we already had. That's the main objective. Okay, guys? So here's that version real quick.
Levels, levels, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game.
That's all good. So I can hear the difference between the hook right now. Because I didn't even finish up the verse yet, so.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game.
Yeah, what you guys think in chat? How we feeling? Let us know. Mix one. I'm going to play it real quick. Here's the hook. Mix one.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game.
Or version 2. Our version.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game.
My ad-libs are muted, guys, just so you know. So I'll put those in real quick so you can hear those. My bad. It sounds a little different without the ad-libs.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules, everything around me cream. First you set the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing in. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so cash rules, everything around me cream. First you set the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of cash rules, everything around me cream. First you set the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing in. If you gon' do it correct.
And this is why I love having track outs. Ready? So typically, when we drop a beat, right? We just got to do something like this where we just drop the beat.
Change, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing in. If you gon' do it.
Right? But now watch this. Because we have the track outs, there's something that really happened that you did. So you talked about squeeze and aim, right?
Of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing in. If you gon' do it.
Put the snare drum in there. Bring it up a little bit in volume.
If you gon' do it correct.
Feel me? So it's got that little
sweet life, breathe right for you squeezing in. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man.
I'm actually gonna make it a little bit tougher, so hold up.
Let me. You want me to send you the version with the?
Yeah, airdrop it on over. Yep, airdrop that on over.
If you
I remember I did this in 2 sessions. I went back to do my I think, I don't remember if it was the, you said the Mac Mini?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think I just recorded the hooks and I went back and did the verses.
Ah, okay,
I
okay.
don't remember if I did 1 verse and then 2 verses or how I ended up recording it.
Gotcha.
But once you started the mix, my heart stopped for a second. I was like, damn, I hope this is the one with both the verses on it, because if not, again.
Nah, this one's got both verses for sure.
If you gon' do it correct. Squeezing name. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets and they.
Actually, no, I'm gonna do this as its own little track. So I just made it roll a little bit more. Take these off real quick.
For you squeezing name. If you gon' do it correct. The way that.
And then S1 Imager. We're gonna make this feel like it goes brrr across your ears. So starting position. Bring it over to
I
here.
always wondered how that was done. That's cool to see live.
Yeah, so that's just me taking this.
Squeezing name. If you gon' do it.
What I'm gonna do with this one is make it center though. So that way.
Squeezing name. If you gon' do it correct. Ask game still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing name. If you gon' do it correct.
Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take this 808 and I'm gonna give it like a nice little slow down on it. Do the very fine.
Breathe right for you squeezing name. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets and they always accept. Area code in my life. Breathe right for you squeezing name. If you gon' do it correct.
Oh, the piano might be even better to do it on instead of the 808. Because you got this extra little.
Squeezing name.
Take that and you go.
Life, breathe right for you squeezing name. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets and they always accept. Area code in my name so they know what I rep.
So now I put the beat that back on right there. Duplicate that over. Reverse that.
Accept area code in my name so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etcher sketch. If you don't get right, then you get in left. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etcher.
I got an idea. Okay, this will work.
I like when you got ideas, man.
So you say shit.
The frame, something like an etcher.
So he did something cool with the hi-hats right here. So I think what I can do is...
That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etcher sketch. If you don't get right, then you get in left.
Just to give it...
That back.
Hold
Do
up.
that again.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta make it perfect though. Hold up. Let's see, because there's a count. There's a 4 count right there. I gotta put that snare back on. Oh, he did miss the snare on that one. Okay, no, it's this one. Okay. And I might even bring the volume up on this a little bit more. So you guys, this is why it's fun to have track outs. You can really have fun with like making things different than what they were before and animate the song a little bit more.
Don't flex, that's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etcher sketch. If you don't get right, then you get in left. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, babe.
So much harder too.
That's what I'm saying. It makes you get it a little bit more. It's like shaking like a, and you listen. Think about the sound when we were kids. Like you shake that sound, it kind of sounds like the hi hat.
So they ain't know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etch a sketch. If you don't get right, then you get in left. I'm just trying to make my way.
Now for this part, let's reverse this so it's a little bit different because it might hit a little bit different.
The frame, something like an etch a sketch. If you don't get right, then you get in left. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused. Best protect your neck, I'll shake the frame, something like an etch a sketch. If you don't get right, then you get in left. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name.
That way it gives it a little bit of a different breakdown before the hook too.
Yeah, before it come back in.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's great.
How we feeling, chat? How we feeling?
Drop
Let us
them
know,
comments.
man.
Drop
Yes,
them
sir.
comments.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I'm just I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules, everything around me cream. First you set the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeeze. Levels to the game, levels to the game. Cash rules, everything around me cream.
All right, I have an idea here, but it might not work. Let me see. It's all the way to 4.
Levels to the game.
That's too fast. That was too fast. Way too fast.
Game. Levels to the game. Cash rules, everything around me cream. First you set the goal.
See, it just has that double bass that I don't want. So, take those out for now. I'm just trying to see if this will sound dope. If not, we'll put it back. Okay, so apparently I have to pre-cut this.
Levels to the game. Cash rules, everything around me cream. First you set the goal, and then you chasing dream. trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me. Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you set the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all. I tried to tell y'all.
I already know what I'm also hearing that needs to be taken out. So a lot of times with like arrangement, bro, there's a thing I'll tell you. Don't let producers get lazy on you with their arrangement, bro. So notice how this hi-hat is going throughout the whole beat. Notice how this exact snare pattern is going throughout the whole beat. This exact pattern is going exactly the same throughout the whole beat. So it's like, I heard it switch up a little bit in the verse for the kick and stuff, but like when you got something like this, like watch how much this actually hit a little bit differently without this hi-hat in here. Sometimes for the first 4 bars, I like to take out the hi-hat.
Levels to the game, levels to the game, because it's levels to the game, levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you set the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all. I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way.
Because that way, your flow switch right there, you went to a little bit faster flow. Right. The hi-hat coming in right there kind of complements that a little bit more. Plus, it creates this little, you felt the drop. You felt that that transition a little bit better.
Levels to the game, levels to the game, because it's levels to the game, levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you set the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all. I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing aim. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etch a sketch. If you don't get right.
I forgot the part right there, so hold on, we're gonna do this one again.
Code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etch a sketch. If you don't get right, then you getting left. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name.
That's fire, bro. That's crazy. That's fire, bro.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want an artist to be like, man, you changed it. Nah, I want them to feel like, yo, that complimented it.
Make sure that I got you the right track outs, and we did it at the way that you wanted to do it. I wanted to do it, you know what I'm saying? It's in your hands. That's why we brought it to. Same with Cicero too, because like when I went over, he's like, nah, I definitely think that he's one of the GOATs. So I definitely think that you should send it to him. It's always good to have another professional sound set of ears. So
I appreciate that for real, man.
Putting this in your hands is
Facts, man.
This is the outcome that I was hoping for.
We gonna get it right.
To be able to pull up and watch him do it all, and this is iconic, bro. It's levels to the game.
Facts.
We couldn't have picked a better song, bro.
Hell nah.
It's levels to the game, for real.
And it's a high energy song, so I knew the stream would like it, because it depends though, because there's some times where like the really smooth stuff works, but like a lot of your album is like very New York vibe. So I figured this is a perfect one because it's got that energy, it's got 808s in it and stuff like that. It's not too New York, but it's New York enough, Yeah. But that's the thing, guys. I'm gonna tell you guys about this. The thing I respect about Cash is he stays true to his sound of where he's from. He's not one of these artists that like, I'm sure he can get on a trap beat and do some crazy shit. I'm sure he could. But he stays true to that real New York sound. He has a real boom bap, authentic hip hop sound. I respect that because not a lot of people do that because they want to. They do it because, we've seen Benny the Butcher and them doing the shit. He's been doing the shit before Benny the Butcher and them were popping. So it's like, he's been doing his sound consistently for years. He took a break for a minute and now he's back putting an album out. So that's what we're doing right here is we're working on this album. So,
yes, sir.
That's something I respect out of artists is if you have a sound that is your sound or your style that you like, push with it, stay with it, and don't switch up just because people are like, oh, now you got to get with this trend or this trend. Like, chasing trends ain't going to get you shit. It might get you a little bit of a buzz for a second, but once they find out it's just a trend that you did, they're not going to like the rest of your music most of the time.
Bro. That shit is only going to get you to 15 minutes of fame.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's not going to last.
It's like, I see a lot of artists a lot of times, like, they'll be, like, trying to go into doing other people's sounds, and for me, it's like, one, that sound's already done. Like, you know, like they'll even say bars that people have said, like legit, word for word, the exact bar that like somebody like Lil Baby or somebody said, and I'm like, you know, it for me, as a producer and a person who loves working with artists and actually people who want to create and not mimic, that's really what that is. To me, that's mimicking. They're literally just trying to like just replicate what they seen. And that's different than like taking influence or taking, you know, just a little bit of a vibe. Oh, I like the vibe of this and I want to add that to my song. Or versus like, you know, taking the influence of like, okay, well, maybe you felt this sample or something from another person's, you know, song was dope. So you had somebody sample that same song. That's inspiration from it. You're not copying it. You know, but somebody going on and doing the same flow, doing the same bars, and I'm like, bro, that's not even. So that's the one thing I will say. Like, I always respect an artist who is being them, you know, and being authentic on a track, versus somebody who's just trying to do every little thing that's popular right now.
And it's a difference too between chasing the trends and staying adapted with the time, cause like
He said this track sounds like it's gonna be on Madden.
that's
Hey, let's go.
That's definitely something I was.
And it's all original production, so we can definitely try to pitch it, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So that's
Definitely an anthem feel. Like this is gonna be one of the singles off of the album, because the album is gonna be titled Levels. So
see.
I'm glad that you picked this one, and I'm glad they feeling that. That's love.
Hell yeah, bro. I'm excited. I'm excited as hell. But yeah, guys, how you guys feeling about the track so far? Oh, wait, hold on. I know why it's not doing it. Hold on, guys, 1 second. Let me switch this over to here. And on my cam, too, I got to turn
I'm
on
just
my
picturing that shit on the Madden loading screen now. Like, nah, that would be crazy.
Yeah, bro. Insane. That would be
levels to the
insane.
game.
That would be absolutely insane.
Hell yeah, bro.
To have that on Madden, bro. And I don't even play Madden no more. I would play that just because it's on there. What? Hell yeah. Say So says, when I was mixing, I was using ChatGPT Noggin. I was telling me to pair my instruments different areas, so I have some. Yes, of course. See, now I don't have this. I don't have like the luxury of that with this, because we have 2 instruments, and then we have this like loop that's a melodic loop. But when you have instruments that you can pan left, right, whatever, and do different percentages, you don't want to do dramatic ones. Like, you don't want to go 80% or 70%, but even 15% will separate a element in the mix. Okay, so for instance, let me show you guys. All right, so we got this track right here. So we have our, let's say, we have this little hi-hat right here, okay? So
Trying to make my way.
this hi-hat, I'm going to keep it in the center right now.
Trying to make my way.
Actually, no, it's over to the right. So what I have to do, let's make this mono. So we're going to split this into mono. I'm going to make this one center. We're going to mute this one. I didn't make it active. All right, so this is completely center right now. Okay, and we're going to hide the vocals. Mute the vocals. All right, so all that is like this little, okay, it's this. But now if I take that and I pan it just a little bit, say 27% to the left. And actually, because the hi-hat's more in that ear, we're going to move this to the right now. So let's move that to the right. Let's do 27 to the right. So now you can see that that's, actually, I like it like this because it was on the left side with the hi-hat before, and you couldn't even really hear that now, or before. So now I actually like that, so I'm going to keep that there. Being that we did that. See? I'm showing you an example, and I ended up liking it in the mix. Now I can hear that and feel it more, so that's great. I love that. So yeah, so you don't always have to pan something dramatically. I don't have to put it all the way 100 to the left. And I can even maybe do, let's do 15. Let's do 15% to the left. Or right, I'm at. Yeah, that created some separation for that, so that's great. So anytime you have multiple instruments and you feel like they're stacking on top of each other, especially with the same frequencies. So if you look like right here, let me switch it over to Pro Tools real quick for you guys. So with this hi-hat that I just did this to right here, It was originally panned to the left a little bit more, just like this hi-hat is panned more to the left. You can see that the wave side on the left side is bigger than the right, so we can tell that's panned to the left a little bit more. So with it being panned to the left with it, it was blending in too much with that frequency, because if you watch right here, we pull this up, and let's just do this little block. Let's pull up this frequency and compare it with... Where's that hi-hat? There it is. Okay, so take all this off. They overlap each other right here. This is the exact... Watch, I'm going to freeze this one. So you can see, these frequencies are overlapping. So if I have them in the same ear, you're not going to hear it as much. You're not going to hear that definition of that little hi-hat doing that little... So, because I'm putting it on the right side, you're now hearing separation between the two, and you're hearing that frequency more heavily over here because it wasn't there before. And it's not heavily on the right side either from the other hi-hat. And instead of having those stack on top of each other, now we have them separated. This ear's hearing this one more, this one's hearing this one more, and your brain is now putting them together. And that's why panning is such a great tool. So just to give you guys a little breakdown. All right, so... All right, to the person who just wrote all the Spanish, I will have to have Max or somebody translate that for me. And then they can repost those, and I'll try to answer it. Like, look.
That's tough, bro. People is tapped in
All over the
globe,
world, bro. It's insane.
Global with it, man. Appreciate the love, man. Keep dropping them comments. I don't care what language they in. Keep them coming.
Facts. French, English, Portuguese,
love.
it don't matter.
Word. That's love. Hopefully
He said, hopefully it's love. We don't know if it's love yet because we don't know what it's saying. That was funny. All right, so now we're getting the vocals back in here. Let's listen again. Now that we can hear the hi-hat, I kind of want to hear how the hook's going to sound with that.
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules, everything around me cream. First you set the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing in. If you
See, so one thing about me when I mix, some people are different. I'm not always this way with every song, but certain songs, the dubs don't always need to be heard. They need to be felt most of the time. And then when they're heard, it's made for like an effect, like an actual chanting effect or a crowd effect, or like, you know, you really want something to sound like there's multiple of you. But I feel like often what gets wrongly mixed in rap, especially with like unseasoned engineers, the dubs will be like literally just as loud or like very audible with the lead vocal. But when you listen to mine,
levels to the game.
On the hook you can hear him more, but on the verse, watch.
Levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules, everything around me cream.
You had a different tone right there, so you're going to hear that one a little bit more, which is fine. But once you start getting into these areas where you start matching your tone a little bit more, it doesn't stand out as much. And I'm going to show you something really crazy, because with the parts that it doesn't stand out as much, if I were to mute it, you would notice an instant difference. The vocal would sound smaller and like there's not as much of a like thickness to it. But then when I put it back on, it's like I can feel it, but I'm not really hearing all of it.
Y'all, I tried to tell y'all, hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you want to...
Okay, so that part, you're pretty much same tone. Ready? Here's...
Y'all, I tried to tell y'all, hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you want to give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never... Y'all, I tried to tell y'all, hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you want to give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of...
Because I don't want it to be like up here like this. Like I don't want it to be like literally right with your vocal.
Y'all, I tried to tell y'all, hustle and motivate. I hope...
And I actually already have this. Oh no, actually I don't have compression on this yet. So usually what I do, I thought I had already thrown this on there, but usually what I'm doing is I'm squishing the hell out of it, meaning there's no dynamics to it. So like you get this.
I try to tell y'all, hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you want to give up, just keep the faith.
So therefore it kind of gives it a little bit more of this like
I try to tell y'all.
consistent, steady vocal instead of like you can hear the volume of each word. And then when you get that,
I try to tell y'all.
let me put the other lead vocal on.
I try to tell y'all, hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you want to give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still.
Damn, that's dope, man. I appreciate you, bro. He said he pretty much said he'd never seen your channel before today, and after watching that, your work and what you create is inspirational, man. That's all I hope to be is an inspiration to you guys and help you guys grow, learn, and push you guys to want to make your music even better and expand your knowledge and skills. That's really all it's about, man. Like, I appreciate you guys tuning in for real. Valerie, I appreciate that. It sounds dope. I appreciate that a lot, man. And yes,
tough.
You guys are welcome. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out with us. That's really, I don't ever hop on here and like have expectations of like, oh, people are going to want to watch me today. I just go on in case people do want to watch. And if people want to watch, we're here live. And that's what I do, man. So thank you guys. Thank you to everyone tuned in.
I try to tell y'all, hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar bill, y'all. I try to tell y'all, hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you want to give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing aim. If you going to
All right, so it's a lot more compressed now, so you can hear the difference now. Ready? So here's without it.
decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing it.
And again, this one, like I said, I'm not trying. It's still, you're gonna still hear tone differences here and there because I didn't match the tone of it, or the notes of the words. But you're not gonna feel like there's two vocals. You're gonna feel like there's just an extra emphasis to it. You know.
Okay.
Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing it.
Are you ready to see how quiet it is though?
Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeeze.
That's pretty damn low.
Word.
Compared to the lead vocal, you know, and so with that just being in there to give it that little oomph that you need, I feel like sometimes like with certain styles of rap, especially with New York rap, a lot of people have layers that are taken away from the actual vibe, and like that is something I feel like a lot of even in Syracuse, like often the engineers, if you're doing layers and stuff, they don't know how to work with them. You do one or two vocals, they're good. Once you start doing 3-4 vocals, they're like, what do I do with these? You know? And me working with singers, that taught me a lot of stuff, because there's some singers where like they want their harmonies and background vocals
layers
like,
and
they want it up there, right, with the lead vocal. But then there's some people where they just want it to be tucked underneath it to the point where it's feeling, but it's not audible. Like, oh, I can hear there's multiple layers. It just, but you'll be able to tell. Oh, damn, that just felt like it got bigger in those sections, and that's where like you do your excitements very properly. Like, there's some people I work with where they'll do stabs. So they'll be like,
cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase your dream. Dollar bill.
I hate dubs like that. That's like such an old school way to do it, to be honest. But like the way that you did it was nice. It emphasized the right things, the bars, the rhyme scheme, and that is a very like. I always tell artists, like, these are the conversations I have with artists in recording sessions, because a lot of times people don't realize there's a psychology to writing your songs and like getting your song memorable to somebody.
For sure.
You know, and so like these patterns that you're creating with, and that's why I'm trying to make the beat complement that, right? So that's why I did the beat drop right here.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you set the goal.
See, like it makes that impact a little bit more. Cash rules everything around me. Cream.
More.
And it's like emphasizing that flow a little bit more, versus if we just took the old beat and do this.
Levels to the game, levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you set the goal, and then
You flow well, so it goes well with it no matter what. But this just makes that hit a little.
levels to the game, levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you set the goal, and then you
And so it's like
Definitely.
those type of things will make people kind of like remember that easier. And then the fact that you're doing your emphasis on the right spots, bro, it's perfect. I love it.
Appreciate it.
These are the
bro.
things that I always tell artists. If you have this natural ability to do this without having to think about it, you have a higher chance of like people actually enjoying your music. Because there's some people, I can show you songs for days.
Just being natural with
yeah,
it.
like
Word.
they feel like they're forcing everything, or it just seems so unorthodox. There's no order to it. And even though sometimes like unorthodox things, unperfected things can sound good, our brain really searches for patterns and repetition and stuff like that when you're listening to a song. So that's why like it's so important to, understand those things. And that's why I gotta say, like, you have a couple, like, the things that I would say if I were to give you any critiques ever,
I'll take it all, bro.
is the tones, right? And so this is something that the person recording you has to say to you, though. Like, hey, bro, take that tone back just a little bit, or give me more here, right? Because they're not on this song. This song was very well performed, but like there was other ones like the intro, right? Even the 1st version of the intro, and I know that's why you redid the vocals
For sure.
because there was definitely lines where it felt like you punched in and it came in louder, or it came in a little bit more stronger, or even weaker than the last part. And so what that often to me is like the engineer's not sitting there telling you, hey, bro, do that again. The energy wasn't matching, because they're the ones that are going to hear that right off bat.
Right.
And that's why I always tell people, I'm not, as an engineer recording somebody, I'm not listening as necessarily like technical ability, like, oh, well, you can give me more vibrato or whatever. No, what I'm saying to the person is like, I'm the first listener, and I am not feeling the energy you're trying to really portray with the song.
Right.
And if I'm not feeling that, then I don't think other people are going to feel it, because I'm the first listener that's actually hearing it out of speakers. You know what I mean?
As you should. Word.
So, chat, we got any questions so far? What we do in this? What we've done in this mixed session so far? We've been live for what, 2 hours now? Yeah, 2 hours and 30 minutes. We got 33 likes though, man. Shout out to everybody that hit that like button today. I appreciate you guys so much.
Love.
We appreciate you so much. And make sure you guys go follow 315 Cash. He is on all platforms. I believe it's 315 Cash on everything, right?
If you're looking up the music, it's 315 Cash on everything. Social media is The Real 315
The real 315 Cash. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So there we go with that. So the real 315 Cash is on social media. But then if you want to look him up on Spotify, Apple Music, make sure you guys stream him on all those platforms, or go buy the music. Because honestly, support the artist, buy the music. You guys will, have the songs to your owning, and he will actually benefit better from that as an artist, because as you guys know, Spotify pays like shit. Streaming pays like shit in general. And honestly, it's more helpful to support the artist by buying their $1 song. Okay, it's $1, if not $1.99. If you guys can't support for $1 or $2, man,
Tell them.
I don't know how you guys expect to get the support back,
Levels the album coming soon, man. Coming
sir.
soon. Early spring. We hit them with it.
Yes, sir. Now, I noticed you said March 15th, and we can definitely make that date, but you did that because it was 315 day?
Yeah.
I respect that.
That was the plan.
You know what's
That was
funny
the
is,
plan.
so down in Florida when I was
That's
in
gonna be
Tampa.
a big weekend right there.
See, this is the thing to me is like, we don't have a technical 315 day. Like when it's March 15th, we don't celebrate it in Syracuse. Like, so when I was down in
Last
Tampa,
year we did.
Did we?
So last year, 315 Day landed on the day of the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Oh.
So that's why I reached out to them, like, yo, it's 315 Day, let's make it happen. And that's how I got my own float.
Smart.
And I was in the parade.
This man was in the fucking St. Patrick's Day parade. That man is
that's-
smart with it.
I believe that's
So-
the first rapper to ever do that here.
Hey.
So that was pretty cool.
Don't
And-
say that in front of Soulja Boy. He
and
might be like,
he
I
might-
did it first.
He might. But see, now that's falling. Now that got me in the door. Now this year, that's falling on the same weekend. So the album's gonna drop on a Sunday. That's gonna be perfect for the press. That's gonna hit the news and all of that.
That
so
is beautiful.
it's gonna be a beautiful rollout for
See,
sure.
that's smart. See, guys, using strategy like that is marketing. Okay.
Scott, hit that.
That
date.
is literally the definition of what marketing is. Like he used a date that fell on the same day as St. Patrick's Day.
Nah, the day before.
Day before St. Patrick's Day.
Something like
it was
that,
the St.
yeah.
Patrick's Day parade here. So he used that to his advantage of saying, look, this is also our area code. Area code 315. We can make it 315 day. Now, what I was going to say to you is in Tampa, they actually have an 813 day, which is, what? August? Yeah, so
Yeah,
August
13th.
August 13th. So every August 13th, they actually have a celebration in Tampa for
real?
Tampa.
That's
Yes.
tough.
So,
So
like,
I'm gonna try to make something happen.
that's
We
what I'm
gotta make
saying.
something
Like,
happen.
I've
We
never.
need to make that
when I
happen
seen that, I was
here.
like, bro,
need
we
to
have
make some
315. Like, March 15th. Like, what the fuck? Like, why can't we do that?
plays. That's
But-
fire.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So that's marketing, guys. Just like every time, like, for instance, when movies come out, because I know a lot of people that mistake marketing, and you got that right on the head right there. Because I love that you gave me that example to use. Because I had an artist I was talking to one time, and he's like, yeah, man, I've been doing marketing. And he's like, he's showing me what he's been doing for marketing. And it's literally him just sharing posts. And I'm like, bro, that's promoting. There's a difference between promoting and marketing.
Oh, yeah.
Marketing is like, if you guys go to McDonald's and you see that the new movie that's coming out is the toys or the fucking, the shape of the Happy Meal box, that's marketing. When you drive down a damn highway and you see a billboard, that's promoting. There's a difference. You know, when you see a billboard, they're saying, hey, go watch this. That's promoting it, saying to go do something. When you go to a place and you're seeing, for instance, when Wicked came out, right? You've seen all the Wicked stuff, or even when Lilo and Stitch came out, you've seen Lilo and Stitch stuff because they wanted you to see it so often that even if you went to the movies before Lilo and Stitch came out, Stitch was the one that popped out of the movie popcorn and stuff like that because they wanted you to see it so often that you became curious about it to the point where you check it out and you possibly go buy a ticket for it. That is marketing. Where you guys are often just promoting and promoting and promoting, which is not bad at all, but like you got to learn how to market and promote. They work hand in hand with each other, but they're not the same thing.
Right. Definitely agree.
Anybody else got any questions? Because I'm going to jump back into this mix for probably another 10 minutes.
Man. Dropping gems on them.
Yeah, man.
Gems
That's what
on
I try
them.
to do on here, bro. Try to give people a sense of, because like this is what happens in natural sessions with me. Like I was working with my boy Antrell the other day, and Antrell was like, bro, like I love doing sessions with you because like literally we'll sit and talk for an hour. He's like, that's why I booked 4 hours with you or 5 hours with you because I'm not really coming in to rush and go through music the whole time. He's like, I know we're gonna have a conversation that's gonna open my mind to going, oh, that helps me out a lot, or maybe something I can use in the future. And I was like, that's dope because to me, like, I always felt like people would be looking at me like, damn, bro, I'm paying for this time. But it's like, I'm not just talking about, man, did you hear about the fucking blah, blah, blah did or nothing? I'm talking about what we can do to make your career more, you know, sustainable as an artist, or how to get more numbers as an artist, or how to get more fans as an artist, or even how to connect with people more as an artist. Those are things that I love talking to people about, man. Because it's like, if you don't understand that stuff, you're never going to succeed at this stuff. Like, this is the things that you need to understand as people, sales, marketing, and business. Outside of having great music. Of course, great music is the number one factor. You got to have that. Like, if you don't have that, all the other shit is just useless. But that's why I try to tell everybody this. Like, I've worked with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dope artists that could have made it, but they didn't do the right stuff to really make it to where they should have been, you know? And there's also other people that I've worked with that are not as dope, but they did the right steps and they got really far. So it's like, it's proven, it shows. Yeah. There's stuff that works. All right, let's jump back into this mix for you guys for another few minutes. And then, so as he knows, I don't mix everything, and you guys also know, I don't always mix everything all in one day. I'll probably do 2 days on this mix and then send it over to you to give me some final revisions and stuff like we did with the intro. And the intro, like I said, I'm still going to add those. I might do it in the mastering phase, but I'm going to add the sirens and stuff like that. Like, because that one part where you're talking about, like, the mom screaming breathe. Yeah. I was even thinking like try to find a movie thing where, because I know there's got to be one movie of like like breathe, like somebody yelling that or something like, or even a mom yelling my baby, you know, just putting that in the background like a mom noise.
Yeah, definitely make it more motion picture.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. I gotta make sure I drop tags before I leave.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
Them,
Yep. I was just about to say because bro, they're not in any of them.
None of them?
None. So I'm going to have to just put them in for you. Because I don't know if he forgot to do the audio track for it, but I've checked. Look, I can show you the track outs right now. All the track outs, if we go into your sessions.
He might have just been waiting to do it at the end or just figured that'd be a move.
Look. Verse, in and out. Ready?
Got you.
Hook, beat.
Got you.
These are all peak levels, and that's...
Yeah, I'm going to drop them to you so you got them.
Because then he has his tag, I think. Yeah. He needs some milk.
Mm-hmm.
Levels.
I got to put that in.
Levels. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way.
I have an idea right here with this levels.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way.
Alright, so there's an S in here.
Just trying to make my, just trying to make my, just trying to make my, just trying to make, just trying to make, just trying to make, just trying to make. Just trying to make my, just trying to make my, just trying to make my, just. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about staying in my lane.
Just trying to reduce that noise.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game.
Cash rules, everything around me cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase a dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing it. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etch-a-sketch. If you don't get right, then you getting left. I'm
just trying to make my way.
It's funny because it's like your ad-lib reacted to the drop, ready? So it's like,
hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etch-a-sketch. If you don't get right, then you getting left.
That ass though.
it's like your ad-lib reacted to
the
it.
future in that
Fucking
shit,
funny
man.
as hell.
That's fine.
Going up levels cause I've been on my grind. Most people don't know I got a job for a time. Focused on money moves, I've been locked in. Putting on for the city, some will say I'm top 10. Who will say I'm not him? Better get the step in every city that I touch. Every job for a time. Focused on money moves, I've been locked in. Putting on for the city, some will say I'm top 10. Who will say I'm not him? Better get the step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm reppin'. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the earth. Soar above the clouds, make my rounds, this that work. Touchdown, new city, new vibe, new level. Plain Jane on my wrist, think it's time for a new bezel. Just hit 30, still thinking I could do better. Health is wealth, found myself, always chasing new treasure. To-do list, stay checked. B, take it to the max. On for the city, some will say I'm top 10. Who will say I'm not him? Better get to step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm reppin'. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the earth. Better.
And this is why I love track outs, because I can take things out that I don't want in there anymore, like this kick. This little right there.
Been locked in, putting on for the city. Some will say I'm top 10, who will say I'm not him? Better get to step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm reppin'. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the earth. Soar above the clouds, make my rounds, this that work. Touchdown, new city, new vibe, new level. Plain Jane on my wrist, think it's time for a new bezel. Just hit 30. Out for a time, focused on money moves. I've been locked in, putting on for the city. Some will say I'm top 10, who will say I'm not him? Better get to step in every.
No, I want to do a better job.
I'm top 10, who will say I'm not him? Better get to step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm reppin'. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the earth. Soar above the clouds, make my rounds, this that work. Touchdown, new city, new vibe, new level. Plain Jane. Focused on money moves. I've been locked in, putting on for the city. Some will say I'm top 10, who will say I'm not him? Better get to step in every city that I touch. Focused on money moves. I've been locked in, putting on for the city. Some will say I'm top 10, who will say I'm not him?
Sometimes I just gotta sit and think and hear it in my head, and then I can do it.
Top 10, who will say I'm not him? Better get to step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm reppin'. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the earth. Soar above the clouds, make my rounds, this that work. Touchdown, new city, new vibe, new level. Plain Jane.
Do this. Yeah.
You do GOAT, bro.
Reverse on that.
Who will say I'm not him? Better get to step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm reppin'. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the earth. People don't know I got a job for a time. Focused on money moves. I've been locked in, putting on for the city. Some will say I'm top 10, who will say I'm not him? Better get to step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm reppin'. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the earth. Soar above the clouds, make my rounds, this that work. Touchdown, new city, new vibe, new level. Plain Jane on my wrist, think it's time for a new bezel. Just hit 30, still thinking I could do better. Health is wealth, found myself, always chasing new treasure. To-do list, stay checked. B, take it to the max, call my connect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always will say I'm top 10, who will say I'm not him? Better get to step in every city that I touch. Him. And on for the city, some will say I'm top 10, who will say I'm not him? Better get to step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm reppin'. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the earth. Soar above the clouds, make my rounds, this that work. Touchdown, new city, new vibe, new level. Plain Jane on my wrist, think it's time for a new bezel. Just hit 30, still thinking I could do better. Health is wealth, found myself, always chasing new treasure. To-do list, stay checked. B, take it to the max, call my connect. Tapped in with them. Who will say I'm not him? Better get to step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm reppin'. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the earth. Soar above the clouds, make my rounds, this that work. Touchdown, new city, new vibe, new level. Plain Jane on my wrist, think it's time for a new bezel. Just hit 30, still thinking I could do better. Health is wealth, found myself, always chasing new treasure. To-do list, stay checked. B, take it to the max, call my connect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always respect area code in my name, so they know what I rep. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Who will say I'm top 10, who will say I'm not him? Better get to step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm reppin'. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the earth. Soar above the clouds, make my rounds, this that work. Touchdown, new city, new vibe, new level. Plain Jane on my wrist, think it's time for a new bezel. Just hit say I'm not him. Better get to step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm reppin'. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the earth. Better
Take that one. That'll work better.
Whenever you do the sound effects or whatever, when I say I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the
Put an
earth.
airplane in there.
Yeah, something
got you.
like that. I figured you was already thinking like
Yep.
that.
I was gonna put that make it go from ear to ear too.
Go.
Or make it sound like it's
That's
really you
fire,
flying.
Hell yeah.
What I'm gonna do here? I'm trying to make this just build up a little bit. Oh shit.
Who will say I'm not him? Better get to step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm reppin'. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the earth. Soar above the clouds, make my rounds, this that work. Touchdown, new city, new vibe, new level. Plain Jane on my wrist, think it's time for a new bezel. Just I'm top 10. Who will say I'm not him? Better get to step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm reppin'. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the earth. Soar above the clouds, make my rounds, this that work. Touchdown, new city, new vibe, new level. Plain Jane on my wrist, think it's time for a new bezel. Just hit 30, still thinking I could do better. Health is wealth, found myself always chasing new trends. Bet.
Let's try a different one. Let's do a little shorter. Turn the modulation off a little bit.
Top 10, who will say I'm not him? Top 10, who will say I'm not him? Top 10, who will say I'm not him? Top
There we go. That's better.
say I'm not him. Better get to step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm reppin'. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the earth. Soar above the clouds, make my rounds, this that work. Touchdown, new city, new vibe, new level. Plain Jane on my wrist, think it's time for a new bezel. Just hit 30, still thinking I could do better. Health is wealth, found myself always chasing new treasure. To-do list, stay checked.
Stay checked. Let me drop the beat there for sure.
To-do list, stay checked. To-do list, stay checked. To-do list, stay checked. B, take it to the max, call my connect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always respect every check.
Well, we got that line right there. I gotta ask you. I said, B, take it to the max, call my connect. How was it recorded Max B, bro?
It was dope.
How was,
It was
that?
dope
That's
as fuck.
iconic, bro.
Nah, it was super dope. Like
That's
it was
iconic.
So it's crazy to me though because
Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
You're
you're good.
mixing shit.
Nah, that was a super cool session. He's funny as hell too. Like he was
Is he really like how he be in
Bro,
interviews in person?
So
Like,
funny. Like, bro, we were in here chilling, and they was just, talking shit and everything. And he goes in the booth, and we're recording. And, bro, like, luckily I'm fast as hell, so, like, I just kept up with him. But, like, he literally was just, like, running right through his verse. And there was this one point where he did this one layer, because, he layers the shit out of his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing this one layer where, like, he was kind of, like, snapping at the same time he was performing. And I thought he had kind of, like, was trying to snap or something to get my attention, so I looked over to make sure it was good. And he's just in there vibing. He looked at me like this, and he like watched me. He was like in the booth, like made eye contact. Then like he's like, "Yo, engineer, run that back." I was like, "All right." So I ran it back, and the whole time he's sitting there going,
That's tough.
the whole time. And then I look over at him again. He's like, and then he comes into the studio. This shit was funny as hell. He came in. He's like, "Yo," before he even said a word to anybody, he walked straight in. There was like 8 people in here.
Mm-hmm.
Walked straight in, came around to me, was like, "Yo, engineer, you fucking with that?" I said, "Bro, that shit was hard." I was like, "Bro, you hit the vibe with that, right? With the snaps." He was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about." Damn, yo, I was
so
dying
tough,
laughing, bro.
That's
But
so
that's
iconic.
technically the second time I've worked with him. So the first time I ever worked with him was actually over the phone when he was in prison. He had just got locked up in like 2010 or 11. I can't remember. I think it was 10 because I was out at Forever Loyal Entertainment Studios out on
It might have been 09.
North. No, it was 10 because 09 I was at GMP Studios, and then 2010 we had moved to the West Side. Then that had got robbed, so I stopped working out of that studio because they had shut down because people stole everything. So fucking West Side Syracuse, man. But so I ended up getting a call from a dude that had a studio on Taft Road out here in North Syracuse.
Okay.
And this dude Piper the Don was
I'm familiar,
Cast
I'm
Squad.
familiar.
You know who he is, right? So he had Max B doing a feature, and like, bro, it was like he had just got locked up, so he's like, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna get it for the low because he's, you know, he just got locked up and he needs money for his books and everything, whatever. So he paid for his fucking feature and the hosting. And so what happened was we had to wait for Max B's mom to call Piper's phone, and then we had to go in the booth. And what I did, because, you know,
That's crazy,
back in the
bro.
day, we had, you know, the aux cable actually on your phone.
Right.
So Piper had an iPhone, so we plugged it into the iPhone, and I plugged that into my input of like a guitar input. And then I recorded the vocal like that, but we still had to play the beat through the phone to him like this. So it was a little off time, and I had to like move it so that. But luckily, he has a very easy flow to match up with things.
Right.
That's the thing about Max B, is like he's
That's
very
so smooth.
But
bro.
yeah,
That's
so like I had to
fire.
do that, and then I recorded like, I would say like 10 different drops, and then he hosted the mixtape and like did a bunch of things. So we had to record those also. But that was different, you know, like we weren't in person able to shake hands and, you know, actually vibe with each other. It was
So
like,
he knew that you was the same person.
so when he
pulled
got
up to
here,
you?
I talked to him and I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, yo, know what's funny is this is my second time working with you, but the first time I was working with you, you were in jail. And he was like, what you mean? I was like, you remember Piper the Don? He was like, oh, yeah. I was like, I recorded that. I was like, I was the one that did all that recording with you over the phone when your mom had to call us and everything. And he was like, yo, where's Piper at? I was like, I don't even know right now. I was like, I don't think he's in Syracuse right now. But I was like, he would definitely be here if he was. Like,
That's dope.
that
bro.
shit was so cool, though.
That's dope.
Like, he was...
Because they mentioned that he was going to be here doing a feature. Because one of the cameramen that was here recording it, that's my mutual
Robert?
cameraman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he said he was going to be doing a feature. So I already knew. All right, if he's recording here in Syracuse,
Yeah.
I know who he's recording with.
Well,
I know 100%.
I gotta say,
know 100%. I believe when they made the post and shit, I was one of the people to tag
bro,
you too.
I gotta say, I
But
gotta shout out to QDC real quick, because my boy QDC was like, as soon as Mel posted that
There's
status,
no other
yo, we
people
need a
that-
studio for Max B. Who can do it?
No question.
All of a sudden, I was driving to, I had just left the studio, right? And I was going to the north side to go get Backwoods. And because they got a store over there that does them for $6. So I was like, fuck it, I always go over there. So I drove over to the north side. I got the Backwoods. I'm
Hold on,
getting
let me
them.
drop some free game on you. You went in Syracuse?
Yeah.
The food bag got them for $6 too.
Oh, for real?
That's a fact.
Oh, okay.
That's a
Bet.
fact.
Bet. That's a bet then. I hope they're not stale. But
Nah,
yeah.
they not. They not.
Okay, good.
Go ahead.
So,
go ahead.
I'm getting in my car, and all of a sudden my phone's ringing, and like I'm a person where like I don't like answering my phone in the car, especially when I'm about to drive. But I was like, you know, I'm not driving right now, so let me hit. I answered. I was like, yo, what's up, bro? He was like, yo, bro, did you see Mel's status? I was like, nah, what you mean? You know, when somebody calls you and says that, it's like, hold on, what happened? So he's like,
What I do?
he's like, nah, exactly. So I'm like, hold on, what? So he's like, nah, they want to book Max at a studio, and I told him like, yo, bro. He's like, I hit you, want to make sure you're available. And I was like, when? Like tonight? He's like, no, next weekend. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I'll do that. So then he's like, all right, I'm going to call Mel right now. Mel didn't even know I was back in town. So he's like, I didn't even know you was here, Dynasty. He was like, what the fuck? So
That's dope.
I'm like, yo, I've been here for like a year, bro. Like, I just kind of kept it so low key. Like, I've been just working with everybody outside of Syracuse. I don't really have to work with Syracuse artists, but if I want to, I will. And he was like, oh, perfect then. He was like, bro, I need a studio. I was like, here's the thing. They're going to want to smoke, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, let me call the owner, because I'm not the owner here, but I'm going to call the owner and see if we can smoke in the studio, because it's never been smoked in. And he's like, oh, for real? I was like, yeah. So I'm going to call them. They said it's
Exceptions for
cool.
Max.
You know, yeah, you got to
Max
have
can get the
exceptions for the
exception.
celebrities.
Max
You got to.
that's for
So,
sure.
you know, this is the first time I actually got to hit a blunt in the studio here. That was crazy.
That's
that felt
tough.
weird. But but yeah, man, it was a vibe, bro. Like Mel had hit me and was like, yo, bro, I definitely need a quality
Shout
studio.
out to
Everybody else
Mel,
was
man.
tagging, you know, some good people, but they don't have a spot like this where it's like out of the way. You don't have to worry about people just pulling up, because a lot of people are in the city with it, and it's like they didn't want to have that. And it's actually not that far from Sharky's either.
Right.
So they were like, it's actually kind of perfect for us. So that worked out great for the location and everything. It was really funny when Max got here. Like, it was only me, the dude that was getting the feature, and then two of his guys were with him.
Mm-hmm.
And QDC had just pulled up to do the videos, and Mel got here at the same time as Max. So Max's brother came in, who's like his bodyguard and manager. He came in, he like literally walked through the whole studio, looked in every room, make sure nobody was like hiding type shit.
Type
Like,
like, I
he was
think
like,
I
all
know
right, you
what
can
you're
come,
talking about.
come on in. I'm like, damn, bro, like y'all really be like scouting. But that's, you know, that's something that having a studio that's open like this, where in some places you go in the lounge of the studio or like the entrance, and you walk off into different hallways. You
Right.
feel me? And like you might go to studio A and B over here, C and D over here, but you also aren't gonna be like right next door to each other. Where this one is like literally room next to room next to room, where people might get confused of where they're going. I was like, nah, you guys got the whole building. I didn't let nobody book that room.
Word.
So you guys have
That's
both rooms
dope,
to
bro.
chill in. I was like, that way if people don't want to be in here while we're working, they can chill in there. They had chicken wings and all that stuff in there.
That's
So
dope.
but yeah, it was a vibe in here, bro.
That's
like
iconic, bro.
Yeah, man,
That's iconic. I knew it, bro. Like, as soon as I said, yeah,
It's like any-
Dynasty's on that for
any
sure.
artist
Because we
that's-
were like in the mix of talking, like in the middle of all of that going down.
Yeah.
And I was just like, nah, I know it.
I was
know
like,
it, bro.
because it was funny because I'd seen you at Funk and Waffles the week before that,
Mhm.
and I was, I didn't even think about like Max coming to town, and I totally forgot that he was even coming to town, and I was thinking it was next month or this month coming up, like February, but when QDC hit me, I was like, damn, that's such a good opportunity. Yeah. Now
Hell
I was
yeah.
thinking that French was maybe gonna come with him because
Yeah,
French has been with him for everything.
Yeah, nah, for sure. I thought it would have been,
But I think-
because Mel was hitting towards him something like maybe a surprise, but I was like, nah, that definitely would have been promoted because
Yeah.
that would have definitely doubled the numbers.
And you got to think though,
it's possible though.
we're like 3 hours from New York City driving. Flying, it's a half hour, but still, like, that's time away that he has to, like,
Yeah,
if they're going to,
that's a
like,
whole
bro, if they go
nother
to
bag.
Jersey,
Yeah.
if they go to Connecticut, like, they're literally right there next to
Yeah,
the city. You
in
feel
the
me?
backyard, yeah.
We're 3-4 hours away. So that's one thing. Then also the bag, bro. Like, how
Yeah.
big was the bag for Max to come here
Right.
compared to, like, other
Right.
clubs and shit? Like, some clubs in New York City, they might be paying him, I'm just throwing numbers out there, but
no,
they might
they
be paying him,
definitely-
like, 25, 30 just to show up and do a little performance. Okay, he might show up with French for that because they're already there in the city.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree.
But and he's only allowed to tour within the tri-state area. He can't do it anywhere else. That's why he's like,
Bro.
he can go to Jersey, I believe, and I think some parts of Pennsylvania, I believe, depending on because he's on parole.
Because what he was in Miami the night before he was here.
Yes, so
and
that-
I was watching the
he can
stories
get, like,
and I'm like,
I was asking about that. I believe they were saying he had to get like permission for that.
oh,
shit.
I'm sure. Yeah,
Like, it's
'cause
not like he could
you
just
can't
leave,
just
yeah.
hide it either. You get Rick Ross's birthday party cameras, like you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying. You can't just, it's
100%.
not a
So,
little sneaky trip.
Those
but-
type of things, like, and that's the thing nowadays is like New York State, I feel like has become a little bit more lenient with like letting people travel when they're on parole if they have like people around them that have good reputations or at least
Right.
money,
Right.
But
yeah.
it's
Heavy
crazy
on
to
that.
think about how like Max when I was in high school, bro. Like this is the thing that I was thinking about because I had texted all my friends. I was like, bro, y'all are never gonna guess who I'm working with. It is somebody that we used to cruise around smoking blunts to all the
For
time.
real, bro.
And my boy was like, yo, bro, if you say Kid Cudi, I'm gonna shit myself. I said, no, I would shit myself if I had Kid Cudi come to the studio. I said, nah, I got Max beat. They're like, what? They all went crazy, bro. That shit
That's
was
tough,
funny as hell. But
bro.
yeah, we got the picture with him here.
Hell
we
yeah.
got
That's
let me see if I
dope
can
just to
find it.
be able to do that, bro.
So I got the professional shot, but also from a regular camera, and then so I didn't get to show everybody this, but I can't say it out loud on here, so I can say it out loud on here, but I can't.
That's tough, bro.
So, do you remember this guy? Did you watch the Super Bowl the other night?
Yeah,
You remember seeing this commercial?
yeah.
You know who that is?
I don't know his name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. What about him?
I just worked with him.
Word?
Yeah.
That's fire. How? Like doing what? You do everything.
We'll have to talk about it
Like
off stream, but yeah,
Like
there-
a commercial or some shit?
No,
Like,
it was music wise. Yeah,
A word?
crazy.
That's fire.
Yep. So
Oh, you the GOAT, bro. Nah, you be...
no, but so here's the thing:
You
is like,
always tangled in with some celebrities doing some shit like that, bro. That's how you put
and that's
yourself
the thing
in
is
the
like I'm
moves.
trying to
You gonna-
expand the network of also
work
who
will
I
speak for
know,
itself.
so that when I have people that have dope music or they're they have their business right, I can actually put them on to opportunities that with bigger people and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
Because like knowing people that are actors and producers, like movie producers and stuff, like they're always looking for music to sync. And if I
Mhm.
know them and I can directly pitch it to them, we don't have to go through a sync agency and stuff like that.
Right.
There's different
That's
ways.
fire.
That's why I'm always talking to people about building relationships and building your network. And I hate the word network because like it's really overthrown out nowadays. Like, but building relationships with people like is something I wish I would have been taught earlier when I was coming up, because when I first came up, all I was around was hustlers.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Who don't really know about relationships. The only relationship that they really had was with their plug, and that was one person who they always went to type shit, right?
Mhm.
So it's like for me, they didn't understand the diversifying everything. And so,
Right.
and some hustlers are good at that, but most hustlers, especially here, they're not really good hustlers. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people here that are hustlers, but they ain't really doing much. And so like I was around people like that, and it was teaching me well. So when I finally got around people that were like, yo, like relationships are more important than the money, because the hustlers are telling me get the money, get the money, get the money, get the money. You feel me? Like everything you gotta do, you gotta get some money. Then about 2015, 16-ish, when I went to Subcat, that's when I realized, like, bro, if I wouldn't have had the relationship with Jeremy, one of the owners, I would have been fucked. Like so I don't know if you remember Infinite Clip Studios. Okay,
of course.
So Infinite Clip Studios, we had open 2 years, and it was the reason why it failed was there was 3 owners, and 2 of them were great, 1 of them was horrible. And the one that was horrible kept doing shit that was putting the whole business in jeopardy. So the 2 owners are like, fuck this, we're out. He can keep the business, keep the studio, whatever. We're just taking our gear. Dynasty, we're pulling everything out. If you want to stay and work with him, you can stay and work with him, but we're out. And I was like, oh, hell no. So I literally was like, yo, the crazy part was I had sessions that day, so they had to reimburse everybody that I was working with that day. I had like 4 sessions. So they had to go and pay them back for all the time or the deposits and all that stuff. And I was like, well, fuck, these guys are still going to want sessions. Like, I can't go out to Central Square because at the time I didn't have a car. So I was like, I don't want to Uber all the way out to Central Square. So I was like, well, let me ask Subcat. And so I called my boy Jeremy, and Jeremy was like, hell yeah, dude, come on through. So I came through, and if I wouldn't have had that relationship, I wouldn't have been able to make that call and turn my career into freelancing for 4 years to become the most booked engineer in the city. 100%. You know, like, and bringing over 300 people through doors of a city or of a studio in the city that nobody even knew was there. You know, and it was a multi-million-dollar studio that nobody knew was there. That was crazy.
100%.
But so for me, that was like, learning that was like, oh wow, like relationships open up more doors than anything. You know, your skills got to be there. Your talent has to be there. Even as an artist, you know, your business has to be there. Your mannerism has to be there. But that doesn't mean they're going to always think of you top of mind if you don't have a good relationship with them. So like, that's why, like, when I started developing relationships with my mentors, like, instead of asking them questions all the time, I'd always either support or how can I help you? How can I do this? How can I be of service to you? How can I, you know, do you need help with anything? Do you need assistance with this? Do you need me to edit this? Whatever it was, bro. And then from there, you know, it was like they seen that, and we developed a relationship where I could go to them and call them right now and be like, hey, I'm having trouble with this. And I'd be on the phone for like a good hour or 2, and they wouldn't be worried about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they would care to help me. Where other people, and like they get opportunities like, oh, you know what? I think Dynasty would be good for this. Like, shout out my big bro Aaron Freedom Lyles. Like, my bro was like, yo, I got these 2 songs I want you to mix. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm going to master them. I produce them, so I want to master them, but I want you to mix them. I want your ear on them. So, and they're very, 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 you're going to like this song too. I'm going to show you it. So this is actually the funny part. This is actually the girl that's on it, Denny Diamonds. Mm-hmm. That's Max B's baby mom, and I mixed the song with her. Shout out my big bro Aaron Freedom Lyles, man. He produced this song with Ace Brav and also what's the other guy's name? I forget the other guy's names. Sorry, I forget. They have a group.
I like it.
I got nothing but love for you, baby. I got nothing but love for you, girl. I got nothing but love for you, baby. Come and fly with me around the world. I got nothing but love for you, baby. I got nothing but love for you, girl. I got nothing but love for you, baby. Come and fly with me. Peace, baby, how you doing tonight? The things you're doing, girl, you're doing it right. And to be honest, I ain't trying to play a game, but we can take it to the crib and we can do what you like. What else? Lay up in the bed, run my fingers through your hair. Girl, you're looking so fine when you next to me. Maybe we can take it slow, then we about to speed it up. Put you on another high like it's ecstasy. What you want, what you need. Nails done, hair done, girl, you're so clean. Red bottom heels and you're walking so mean. Genuine question, how you got in those jeans? Make a chick ask where you got that. Girl, you looking so fine, how you rock that? And we cruising in the whip with the top back. Promise I supply that. Tell me who can top that.
Got nothing but love for you, daddy. Got nothing but love for you. Got nothing but love for you, daddy. Got nothing but love for you.
So like that right there, Denny Diamonds is doing that the got nothing but
That was
love for you
dope,
part.
Got nothing but love for you, daddy. Got nothing but love for you. Got nothing but love for you, daddy. Got nothing but love for you. Come show me, baby. Prove that. Tell me how you like it with the roof back. Touch up on my thigh, baby, do that. Look at that dude, he a cool cat. Wine me, dime me, do that. Style me, design me, like who that? Denny from the Bronx, where my boo at? Fly me around the world, we can do that. Nothing like these chicks, wanna reminisce, wanna be a miss. Kisses on my neck, move it to.
So then we had this other part where the singer came on it.
Baby, come and fly with me. I got no.
Where the hell is that?
I got none but love for you, baby. Baby.
The way you move it, I can't take my eyes off of what you're doing. Something about your vibe just makes me lose my mind. Baby girl, you're so damn fine. We ain't gotta waste no time. Come and let me change your mind.
So that was produced by my mentor, who also has produced. What was the band called? Fuck. What was the song that I always talk about? It just skipped my mind. It was in Pitch Perfect. The Aaron produced.
Oh my gosh. Hold on.
I got his credits right here. I'll just pull it off his credits. Hold on. I'm gonna show you the song. You're gonna know this song. And it's funny because he hates this song, and I always pick on him because it's one of his most known songs. No. So okay, have you ever heard this song?
Mm-hmm.
Not the remix edit. Sorry, this one.
With psoriatic arthritis, mornings came with sore, swollen, and stiff joints. Now, with the
My mentor produced that.
No way.
Yes.
That's tough.
On and On is right there on his first list. Apple Tree, 4-Leaf Clover, On and On. MC Light, Poor Georgie, Michael Jackson, Keep It in the Closet.
That's crazy.
Look, let's see, Babyface, Mary Mac.
Yeah, that
Ace of
list
Base,
was
that's what it is.
crazy.
Ace of Base. All right, you know this song. A lot of people know this song. A lot of people know this song. Why is it doing a remix?
Yeah. I saw the sun and opened.
So this song is crazy because he didn't even this was he was leaving the studio and I forgot who it was. It was a legendary record label owner. He was like, Freedom, you free right now? He's like, I was about to leave. He's like, I need you in here. I need you to produce this song for him. Wrote him a check for $60,000. There you go.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm. And this is one of his. He hates this
That's
song. He
insane.
tells me all the time, I'll call him. I'll be at Walmart and I'll hear the song playing, and I'll be like, "Yo, your song's playing, bro," and he'll be like, "Yo, fuck you." Every time, it's funny as shit.
That's tough.
But I'm about to have him on a stream too soon, doing an interview. So he's gonna be talking about all those things and everything.
That's
So,
dope. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely
man.
tap in.
Yeah, he still does beats like current style beats and everything like that. But he took a break because he was real tired of how the music industry was, and he's back in he's from the 80s and 90s, you know, 90s, more early 90s. Angie Stone was his sister. She has a song called Freedom that she dedicated to him on her album.
That's tough.
And the way that she wrote it was so if you're an average listener listening to it, she's talking about freedom of yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you listen to it, she's talking to him because his name is Aaron Freedom Lyles, and his producer name is Freedom, and she's literally saying, I thank you so much, Freedom. I appreciate you, Freedom. And she's talking to him because he
That's
produced
tough.
the album for her. Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
he so
That's iconic.
sadly, losing Angie Stone last year, losing D'Angelo, that was another person he produced for. The tattoo on D'Angelo's arm. Watch this. This is the great bro, you guys don't understand. My mentor is
Nah,
OG
that's crazy,
OG
bro.
in the game, bro. Look, ready? So, get the photos. So here's Angie Stone and his daughter.
That's crazy.
back in the day. Okay, and then so this tattoo right here on D'Angelo's arm,
Yeah.
he drew that for me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then hold on, ready? I'm gonna show you another picture real quick.
No shit.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
crazy, bro.
This is my mentor and Erica.
That's
Erica
tough,
Badu.
bro.
Okay, and then you got hold on, one more right here where I
That's
can show you.
crazy.
Hold on, where's he at? Okay, so you got D'Angelo right there. You got Angie Stone right there. That's my mentor.
That's dope, bro.
Okay, and like these are all like if you look this picture up on Angie Stone's page, it's on there like with him in it and stuff. Like he was really look, Ken Lewis, one of the biggest. Shout out to Ken Lewis, man. He's a goat. One of my good friends, man. 50 Cent, Jeremiah, Down on Me, All of the Lights, Kanye West, Take Care, Drake. I can name more. BTS, Taylor Swift, Bruno Mars. I can name more. But look, I got my first plaque from Jason's Lyrics soundtrack with Freedom Lyles and
That's
Ike
tough.
Lee.
That's dope.
Yeah. So like my mentor has been in the game for a long time.
That's pretty cool,
And
bro.
it's like to me it's like
How do you get connected with somebody like that?
So for that it was a crazy situation, bro. Like I was down in Florida, and I was just bouncing around to different studios trying to find a studio to freelance out of when I first got to Sarasota, and there was this place, Dreams. No, not Dream Sound. What was the other studio that I went to? Loud and Strong Studio. Shout out to Loud and Strong Studios, Mo, my boy. So I went there, and it was like Florida's different, bro. They got like okay. So you see how this building, this is like something that usually a studio would be in, but like this was like if you go next door to the storage place and there's like an office, but there's also a bunch of like storage units.
Mm-hmm.
So in the office area, there's open offices. So what he did was he booked out or he rented out 2 offices and he made those 2 studios. And so one of the studios was more like his production studio and then the other one was a recording studio. And so I was working out of there. And he's friends with Aaron for years. And Aaron came by one day when I wasn't there, and he was showing him some of the stuff that I had showed him that I worked on. And Aaron was like, who is this kid? He was like, this dude is a monster. And so he shot me a text randomly. He was like, hey, man, I hope you don't mind. I got your information from Mo. My name's Aaron Freedom Laws. Like, I would love to, chat with you, man. Like, you're dope.
Bro.
And he's like, here's my information about, what I have done in the industry and stuff. And, like, when I went over to his house, bro, like, I went over to go meet up with him and have lunch with him, and we went and chatted, and, like, I went over to his house, and he showed me, like, bro, he's got Jennifer Lopez plaques. He's got, like, platinum plaques on his wall. He's got Erykah Badu plaque on his wall. She's even seen him, Chico DeBarge. He's got fucking Rakim. He's got all different people, Raekwon. He's got all different people, bro. Heavy D. He did a lot of stuff for Heavy D. So it's like being around him, I learned about how the old music industry really worked and how the whole business of it was. Like, bro, back then he was getting paid as a producer. Bro, he would be called up, hey, we want you to produce this song. Okay, $60,000. Just to even say okay. And if you don't put the song out, he had this thing called a kill fee, which most people have nowadays still if they're a real big producer. But, like, I'm getting paid extra $10,000 just because you didn't put it out. Like, these were things that, like, were real things in the business back then. So, like, he was, he was telling me all this stuff. And these are things I'm talking about on the stream, too, on the interviews.
Yeah,
and he's going to be able to tell you guys.
Keep me updated on
Yeah,
that,
I definitely will.
I definitely want to
so
tap
he's,
in for that stream,
and about
bro.
him, like, it was cool, though, because, like, his path is different than others. Like, his godfather was Robin Williams.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Insane. And he has, like, me and her have seen pictures and videos of him with Robin Williams.
That's crazy.
Like, since he was a kid, you know what I mean? Like, since, like, teeny tiny kid to teenager. So it's like, oh no, it just wasn't a one-time thing. He met him, like, you seen him at, like, it was like a party, like family party, and he's in the background just standing there up against the wall type shit. Like, it was cool as hell. Josh Official, hi Don, how's life? Haven't seen you on your live for a while, but yeah, what's up? Hey man, I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you hanging out with us. Yeah, we're gonna I'll play the track back. It's not the final mix. But this is close to what we're gonna have finalized. So you guys want to hear the track real quick? Took a nice little break, chat time. But all right, let's play this through real quick. All right, I'm actually gonna play the rough mix, and then we're gonna play the final mix. Okay, or not the final mix, but what we have so far. So, hey man, it's all good, Max. All right, let's go ahead and play this rough mix real quick, so we can hear what we started with, and hear what we've turned it into, okay? Just so we can surprise our ears a little bit.
Levels, 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 I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game.
All right, so that's the hook. Did we put the other one in there? I thought I put the other one in there. Shit. Did you airdrop the second one?
I believe
thought
so.
we did. Maybe I just
Shit said levels
Nah,
too.
you know what? That is what happened.
Can you drag it over?
I didn't drag it in, but we downloaded it. It's one of those situations.
Happens.
Yeah. All right, let me go ahead and redo that. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Me apology. All right, let me jump over here so you guys can see what we got going on. All right, so again, this is the rough mix. I'm going to play just the hook part into the verse, and then we'll go into the...
My lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules, everything around me cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase a dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight.
All right, so again, the rough mix didn't sound horrible. It didn't sound bad at all. There are certain things that I definitely would have tuned up a little bit more, but we got the files, so we did tune it up more.
Levels. 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 I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules, everything around me cream. First you set the goal, and then you chase a dream. Dollar bill, y'all, I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate, I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing in. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etch-a-sketch. If you don't get right, then you getting left. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Going up levels, cause I've been on my grind. Most people don't know I got a job for a time.
Say So says, can you explain how you mix your ad-libs? Yeah. So ad-libs, I have a typical format for these, especially with hip-hop ad-libs. Your easiest thing is to definitely try to put them in telephone effect. Most people love that. If they don't, then you want to definitely, try to keep them a little bit thicker. But I usually do a telephone effect, and then I do auto pan, which is not on, this is not on a even amount of counting. So it's on 5 beats. So it's not counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It's doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So therefore, it's not constantly going back and forth between the same interval. So you don't get the words just constantly on the right side, constantly on the right side, constantly on the right. It's actually going to be moving in between the speakers when you put it on the uneven beats or odd beats. So I put it on 5 or 7. Those are the 2 that I typically put on. If I want to go a little bit faster, I'll put on 3. And then sometimes I'll change the width a little bit so it's not so 100% left and right. Then on my ad-lib bus, we will do, let me pull this down here, guys, sorry. On the ad-lib bus, I'll do another compression, and I'll do another like scoop to roll off some more of that frequency that maybe got left over.
To the game, cash rules everything around me.
And then of course you got to have your delays on it. I usually have a quarter delay on it. Sometimes I'll automate an eighth delay on stuff. And then of course reverb and stuff like that. So I have 2 different reverbs on it. And for the ad-libs, I was going really reverby and I didn't like it. Then I took it down a lot.
To the game, cash rules everything around me. Cream, first you set the goal and then you chase a dream. Dollar bill.
Now what I might do, because I want to add a little bit more aggression to that, I'm going to put some distortion on it. So.
To the game, cash rules everything around me. Cream, first you set the goal and then you chase a dream. Dollar bill, y'all. I tried to tell y'all, hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you want to give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing it. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etch-a-sketch. If you don't get right, then you get in left. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane.
All right, we need to do a drop there. That's not transitioning well.
Get in left, I'm
Maybe let's just drop it.
just sketch. If you don't get right, then you get in left. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, stay.
All of my vocal tracks are always mono, unless it's like a printed track that somebody had effects on. But 99.9999% of the time, they are mono tracks. Now, when you throw a mono stereo plugin on, it'll look like it's stereo. So if I take this plugin off, we are no longer in stereo. It is just a mono plugin, or a mono track. But when I put it on AutoPan, it turns it to a mono stereo track, which means it can move in between both speakers, but it's not a stereo source, okay? So this just gives it the ability to actually transfer between each speaker versus if I were to go in and I just go into like the panning, if I were to just take this guy, duplicate it, let's pull this down here. So we get all this, and we take this off. In order to get this pan effect, I'd have to go into here and I'd have to just go and draw a bunch of random shapes of, whoops, I want it on auto or free. Okay, so I'd have to go like this and just kind of change whatever I want and just kind of, now the panning is going to change. It's going to go between speakers, but it's not as controlled and it takes way more time to really get the way that I want it to be. So that's why I use AutoPan to do exactly what I want it to do. You can also use PanMan, you can use Brower Motion, you can use a bunch of different things.
Cream, first you set the goal and then you chase a dream. Dollar bill, y'all. I tried to tell y'all, hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you want to give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing it. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etch-a-sketch. If you don't get right, then you get in left. I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game.
What do you like to use to make vocals sound saturated? So I like BB tubes. One of my favorite ones is that, or I'll use the Vertigo, or I'll use Decapitator. Sometimes Saturn too. That's a good one.
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game.
Levels to the game because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you said the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all. I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the. Still ain't trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my game. Been focused on my name, I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you said the goal, trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name, I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name, I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you said the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all. I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing aim. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I.
So do you remember earlier what number I told you we're gonna be aiming for, like when I get towards the end of the mix? For this?
Something like that. 4-0.
-4.
Trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you said the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all. I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give up, just keep the faith. Take a leap of faith, never follow, just lead the way. Decade in the game, still ain't changed, but I need a taste of that sweet life. Breathe right for you squeezing aim. If you gon' do it correct. Ask the OGs, man, I earn my respect. Tapped in with them sets, and they always accept. Area code in my name, so they know what I rep. Mike got it on me, so I hope you don't flex. That's a nice chain, best protect your neck. I'll shake the frame, something like an etch-a-sketch. If you don't get right, then you getting left. I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Going up levels, cause I've been on my grind. Most people don't know I got a job full time. Focused on money moves, I've been locked in. Putting on for the city, some will say I'm top 10. Who will say I'm not him? Better get the step in every city that I touch. Syracuse, what I'm repping. And I wrote this verse 30,000 feet from the. Trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the. Game because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. First you said the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all. I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight. And even if you wanna give.
Nah, so I'm in if I was in pre-fader mode, you would see it like this.
Trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the.
So because I'm not really pushing the crazy amount of volume that you think I'm pushing up, a lot of my volumes are staying the same. So if I put in pre-fader and post-fader, it's actually pretty close to the same thing. But I use post-fadering for mixing. Pre-fadering is for recording, usually. If I'm doing like live band stuff, I'm using a lot of analog stuff. Or I have like crazy plugins on and I want to be able to see what is going on. I like to do it like that. But when you're mixing, no, I keep it on post.
Trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game. Cash rules, trying to make my way.
Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried.
Yeah, I might have said it opposite on accident, but yeah, definitely. So post faders is strictly for, pre-fader is strictly for like when I'm recording, like say a band or something, or I'm doing a lot of like, I have to pull things down and I really want to see what the level's really at, then that's what, I will do it for. But
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane.
even if I were to take this, it's funny because if I do this, I didn't even know.
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name.
So if anybody's wondering what that fucking means to everyone's like probably sitting there like, what the fuck is pre-fader? Okay, so if you guys watch this meter right here, watch this meter as I hit play, and as I pull this down, you're gonna see this meter still playing.
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been
Okay, now if I go to post fader metering, what that's gonna do is it's gonna resemble what the fader is doing, which is what this is doing. So being that I turned it all the way down,
cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way.
tips on doubles and stuff, I would say, like I said, so this vocal, if we look at this EQ, and even if we take this vocal and we go ahead to this dub, right, and we say, let's sidechain our hook lead. We're going to do this one.
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game.
All right, so the red one is the one that you can see is the lead vocal. Now you're seeing the more presence in the areas where it's really, really heavy. So what I wanted to do, and I did this by ear, I didn't do this by looking at this, but I'm showing you guys what I was hearing.
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane.
So you guys see this band right here, this pink one? This is actually directly on spot with the area that was clashing with it. Because I was pulling this down, I don't have to worry about the one over here as much.
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, been focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm reducing clash, or where it's going to build up, because these frequencies are the same. So it's going to end up building up this energy there, and I don't want that. So that's one thing that I do often when I'm working with doubles and stuff, is I try to hear the frequencies where, okay, this vocal is more present in this area. I'm going to take it out of the dubs, okay? Now, it also depends on what type of dubs you have. Some dubs need to be more alive. Some of them need to be more dead. This is more of just energy behind him. He wanted this to be more full, feel more full, but not sound like a crowd, okay? He doesn't want it to sound like a crowd. So we're not going to make it sound like a crowd for him. And that's why I took a lot of definition off these. So if you look right here, a lot of this right here is just definition.
I'm just trying to make.
So we just solo this vocal. That's what we mean by definition.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane.
So it's like stuff that really makes the vocal stand out, right? So now I took that off of both of those. They're the same, they match. And then this guy right here pulls down this section.
I'm just trying to make my way.
Oh, let me get this one more time. So now you can see it's really taking out that mid-range or high mid-range that's really going to poke out compared to, like, if I were to take this off and play it with the lead vocal.
I'm just trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game.
See, so it feels like there's a crowd now. I don't want that. I don't want it to feel like a crowd. And I have these panned 78 and 78, not 100. Now, one thing I did here, I do want to get rid of that. That's why it's good to listen to the acapella sometimes. So you see all these little things right here? All those little, like, these noises? Those end up adding up later on in the mix. So I'm going to end up chopping those bitches out. Hold up. Strip. Fade. And this is just like headphone bleed. Or a breath.
Word.
Go, cause it's levels.
How long would you say it took you to record this song? Did you spend over an hour on it?
Probably about that. Hour and a half, hour.
See, we're already I'm not gonna say 3 hours fully into a mix, but at least 2.5 plus the other hour that I did mixing the beat before.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I tell people all the time, like, that sometimes the recording phase can go really fast, but the mixing phase, you don't know what you're gonna have to do sometimes.
For sure.
Like, especially when you're trying to get a certain sound or get ideas out and stuff like that. So now we don't have those little clicks and noises and stuff like that to deal with.
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game.
Cool.
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game.
Cash rules, everything around me cream. First you set the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all.
Trying to make my way, staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, I'm just trying to make my way. Staying in my lane, being focused on my name. I ain't worried about the fame, cause it's levels to the game. Levels to the game, because it's levels to the game. Levels to the game.
Cash rules, everything around me cream. First you set the goal, and then you chasing dream. Dollar bill, y'all. I tried to tell y'all. Hustle and motivate. I hope that you hold your weight.
Levels to the game.
I'm just going to bounce this as a semi-mix. And guys, what a semi-mix to me means is like it's like 80-90% of the way there. Got some fine-tuning a little bit to do with a couple little parts. I'm going to go listen to it in the car, listen to it with different headphones and stuff like that, listen to it on my Bluetooth speaker, and let him also do the same.
I did the same shit with when you sent me the intro. I did it off the sound bar, did it off the phone, did it off the laptop, hopped in the car, did it off the car.
It's important.
Seriously.
You gotta do a speaker check, just make sure, it translates. And it's
I
not.
didn't do the headphone check, though. That's the only thing.
I tell everybody, headphones are different for
pair.
everything because, like, you got earbuds or you got over the ears, right? And that's why I do both. I check earbuds and I also check that over the ears. But, like, the thing is with headphones is, like, it really depends on if it's, like, an expensive pair of headphones or a cheap pair of headphones.
Right.
Because on certain ones, you're going to get a lot more, like, presence of the highs if they're cheap. Usually bass isn't really good on, like, really cheap headphones and stuff. But, like, if you got, like, AirPods or, like, the AirPod Maxes, whatever they are, those are great to test on and just make sure, they sound clean. But what I always tell people is, like, don't just listen to your song. Listen to, like, an industry song, then go and listen to your song, and listen to the industry song again, and kind of compare and contrast, like, what is...
For sure.
And something in that same style, too, like, because there's a lot of times where I've had people, like, well, they listen to, like, say... Oh, damn it, I did not select the whole thing. They'll do, like, say, for instance, a Travis Scott song, and their music is nothing like Travis Scott's. It's like, bro, you can't use that as an example. Like, if you were to go do anything, I would say go listen to a Benny Butcher song. It's like...
Levels to the game.
Because, like, to me, it's like, you got to know that elements that are similar will... Okay, let me see if this 808's sounding similar to this other one. Or if it's, like, hitting in the same level as the other ones. But I definitely appreciate everybody who tuned in tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Make sure you guys go follow 315 Cash.
Yes, sir.
Show
At
some
the Real
love.
315 Cash, man. Levels the album coming soon. Fully produced by Fly Milk. Fully mixed and mastered by my man Dynasty.
Yes, sir.
We working. We coming for y'all for
About
sure.
to have that shit sounding A1.
Oh yeah.
Top
Hear it
level.
on a radio near you.
Top
Word.
shelf, as they say in the week. I mean, it's
Hell
top
yeah.
shelf.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Levels to this shit for sure. We gonna show them that with this one.
Hell
Definitely.
yeah. Also, when making a game station to use a meter clips to get the tracks at the right levels. honestly, bro, I don't watch my meters often. I know that's not a good practice all the time. I'll tell you the truth. It becomes a thing where like your ears can tell if something is getting a little bit louder or not. And that's kind of at the point that I'm at with my career and my skill with it. Now, years ago, yes, I would be watching the meters all the time. And meters can also trick you because meters are just giving you most of the time peak energy and the volume. So, like, if you're not paying attention to frequency buildup, and that's why I often will have an analyzer up. I mix more with an analyzer than I do with just, like, my levels. And the reason is because frequency buildup and energy buildup is different than volume buildup, okay? So the reason why you guys are looking at your numbers so much, you're looking at a peak level of like, oh, somebody's hitting -6 loops. But you don't realize that that's, first of all, the mastered version. Second of all, they have elements in that song that are pushing that energy to stay up there. It's not just your snare drum and kick drum that are punching really hard that are making your meter say -6 loops. You can do that with anything that's really punchy. But is it the energy that's really adding up and creating that fullness? That's where a lot of people lack. And that's why when you listen to an industry song versus maybe some of your guys' mixes, they might be a little bit thinner sounding. They might be a little bit weaker sounding. They might even be more dynamic. Like this, the kick and the snare are way more like punchier and louder, which might feel better to you. But when you listen to a record and you listen to the actual full overall feel of it, it doesn't always feel good. You know, so those are the things that I would say like that once I started realizing those things and understanding those things and those concepts and those principles of how frequencies, as you add saturation, harmonics and stuff like that, you're adding more information that wasn't even there technically. So you're starting to fill things up and you're getting a lot more consistent loudness rather than just peak loudness, okay? So that's one thing I would tell you guys, like, if you guys even look on this drum track right quick, hold on, let me jump into this to show you guys this. So on this drum track, I used a clipper, but I'm not going anywhere near zero. Look, guys, this is not anywhere near zero, and I used the clipper still. Like, now, what I was trying to do with that is I was trying to take away the transients really being too high, because once I start putting limiting and such on it, it's going to make it a lot more like louder and make my meters read as a louder volume than what they really are. So, you know, there's a lot of reasons why we use clippers and we use things like that, not just for the sound of distortion or anything like that, but to actually control the peak level and keep building energy up without filling up that peak level first. Or hitting that peak level first. So I hope that helps. I hope that shows you a little example. But we're about to get up off here, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. And until next time, guys, we up out of here. Peace.
Appreciate y'all tapping in.
Yes, sir.